Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Old Bath Road for what is a massive encounter, historic night here in the heart of Reading in National 1, because it's the first time that rugby is playing under the Friday night lights for RAMS Rugby Club against rivals CHINNOR, but it is also the first time that National League Rugby is bringing you live rugby, and what a setting we have for it. A top to half clash, which is underway as we speak. But very quickly introduce you to my co-commentators, the former Premiership referee Ashley Rowden, and also the RAMS second coach, and also who played previously for RAMS and CHINNOR, Paddy Conlon. Gentlemen, we've just seen a bit of it already, but just give us your brief expectations, what you saw. Ashley, just to start us off.
Local derby, form goes out the window, but it's just great for National 1 Rugby and below that you're here streaming the game live. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a great occasion. Already we've had, we can see 30 players on the pitch who are bang up for this game. We've just had an error from the RAMS on their exit. Ollie Cole, unfortunately, kicking the ball straight out from outside the 22. So CHINNOR have had a line out, which they've just lost, unfortunately, on their attacking 22.
Well, whilst we're waiting for our first set piece of the evening to get started, I'll just run you through the team news. So if you're watching this level of rugby for the first time, what you're seeing is the third tier of English rugby this is. So you've got Premiership, Championship, and then we have National 1. And just you see by the pitch, that's a beautiful angle that is. Two big packs. There's a big battle actually on that near side. Seoane Tongawiya, formerly a Rugby World Cup player with Tonga, going up against the stalwart of RAMS, James Baker. That's a real key battle. That's the first setup. This is, before we get into the team news, Paddy, this is going to be a really key battle in the forwards.
It's absolutely essential that you get scrum dominance at this level, particularly for these two teams who like to operate from a dominant scrum. It's going to be essential that battle, as you say, between Seoane Tongawiya and James Baker could go a long way to deciding this fixture.
I'd pay money to watch that alone. Just this battle is worth the night's viewing. Honestly.
It really is. And I was hoping to see a lot more of that. We've seen RAMS at the moment, so they come into this fixture sitting 6th in the table. They have, what they're looking to do is they're in a position where they can overtake the team above them, which is Cinderford at the moment, which is what they're looking to do with a win here, whereas CHINNOR, they are about 13 points behind RAMS at the moment. They're looking to tighten up that battle at the top, which is so tight. We're going to get into that. At the moment, our man on kicking duties is Andrew Humberston, wearing number 12. It's going to be collected by Kieran Ross, but he is swamped by RAMS players, and this is the first chance for CHINNOR to get the ball moving. That's a lovely break from Dick Smith. He's all the way through them. What a start for CHINNOR. They get back onto the 10. Kieran Goss down at the moment. Yawa takes it out, spreading it out wide. We expected that from CHINNOR, but RAMS intercepting. Early slip from them, but they've got it back in possession. Let's move quickly out to their wing. This is our number 11, that's Jack Rossiter, and it's quickly moved this time. The number 8, Robbie Stapley, gets it back into the number 14, Henry Bird, who's been on absolutely flying scoring form for the home side. He's really one to watch out for. But what a breathless start we've just seen.
What a start, both teams going at it. You can see the intent straight away from CHINNOR. Collected a kick, and all the first intention was to run the ball. Luckily we had Michael Dykes at the back with a lovely cover tackle to save us there.
Dean Hammond working very tight to the line for CHINNOR. Ball's been up in the air a lot. No, number 8 for CHINNOR, Fred Tuilagi, the next generation of that amazing family. He was the 6th Tuilagi to play for Leicester when he made his debut back in 2016. But both forwards and backs working for CHINNOR, the visitors. But a penalty won and massively celebrated by the RAMS bench. Lots of passion around this ground tonight.
I think that's one of RAM's strengths there, actually, Warren. You know, we look to turn over. Defensively, we try and be very good and then play from the turnover. Good play there by, looked like Vince Everett.
Well, Vince Everett, he's come into the squad recently for RAMS. That's one thing we haven't discussed yet. Obviously, we've seen a lot of injuries, but that's a big hit put in by Andrew Humberston. This is the beauty. We've got the replays to see here, lads. And that's the reason for the penalty.
And it was Vince Everett.
Yes, of course. We've got a former Premiership referee who can talk us through all of the decisions that are made.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few people are glad that I'm on the mic and keeping my thoughts to myself as to being in the technical areas, the water boy. This level for the referees and touch judges, ARs, is just the same as it for players. They want to move up and prove themselves, and this is, you know, you get some really good competitive games at this level for them to show their coaches and people assessing whether are they good enough to play in the, officiate in the championship.
Team's played a bit of hot potato, but Ollie Cole is striding onto that loose ball. It's collected right at the death by CHINNOR. Their fly half, Nick Smith, collecting just before it touched the dangerous area. Rams have put the pedal down early in the first 5 minutes here. No score, but plenty of intensity on this. Bit of a chill now in the air on the outskirts of Reading.
Quite fortunate to be still in the CHINNOR half after a line-out that didn't go as Rams had expected, but still got the hack on, and Ollie Cole ever present there chasing it up.
Has been superb to scrum half for Rams. His man of match against Sale last week. Oh, now one for Rams. Formerly Hartbury College, Ollie Cole. Always spent the last 5 years with Rams, and he is a big part of that driving force in the backs for Rams.
Yeah, sort of like I think we would say that we build our game around the set piece. We believe that we've got a good scrum, good line out, a good driving wall. You'll be in a chance of winning a lot of games. But obviously the backs, it's the old classic. Forwards win matches and backs decide by how many.
That's it. And won by Taylor. That's Stapley charging into the tackle, getting towards the 22. Picked up by Henderson. Cole. That was the fly half. There's a deep run coming in from Jack Rossiter, and now it comes out to his opposite winger, Henry Bird. I think he's up there for one of the top try scorers for Rams this season. Schroeter. Rams, it's the first time they've had a steady, consistent amount of possession. That's Grundy. Moves out wide by Bryant, and Rossiter looking to create some space for himself. He gets away from 2 tackles. Rams just looking to lock horns and burst through the gap in the CHINNOR defence. And that's a break from Henderson. Oh, he's going to do it again. The hooker scored twice against them. He scored the first one at Kingsley Road 2 years ago, and he scored the first try here at Old Bath Road in the reunion. The crowd went wild for Henderson as he hacked through the CHINNOR defence.
Such a talented player, again, picking the ball up, kind of running through that 12 channel and breaking the line and straight through. He's a hooker who can do most things on the pitch and does them all very well. And helped himself to a try there to get the evening started.
Yeah, he had one of the CHINNOR players who seemed to fly out the line, and that created the gap for Hendo to go through, and he's too good a player not to spot that. Great start for Rams.
To run the backs with him proud of. But Ben Henderson, like I said, he's done that so often. Scored and assisted when Rams went to Kingsley Road. The conversion added by Humberston, and the home side find themselves 7-0 up with 8 minutes on the clock. That certainly settles the nerves, I think, after that start that they had.
It does, and credit to CHINNOR. Rams had to go through a lot of phases for that gap to open up. You know, they were pressing within the 22 for quite a while, going through a lot of phases which CHINNOR's defence just soaked up, and then but eventually the gap came.
Swift gets us restarted, finding Henry Bird.
Outside.
Cole thought might go for his box kick, but James McRae, the local boy, well, he's working locally, working as a sports graduate assistant down at Eton College, so very much involved in the local rugby.
That's fine, that's cool, that's cool.
That's actually really well collected. CHINNOR keeping that pressure high, keeping Rams in their own half. Deep run from Tuilagi.
Nice double hit from James Baker there.
And then another dive straight through. Tongawiya putting his body on the line. The great run from Borton as he went through, but
no advantage back here, need a
will be
clear
an
release.
offside. And a penalty.
And his arms down on the ground.
No clear
So he was
release,
trying to
he's gone
jackal, but he was using the ground to balance. Referee's very hot on
no
that.
advantage.
Our referee, I should say our officials are Hamish Grant, the man in the middle, and our assistants are Jack Sutton and Jeff Highcott.
Shot called.
Slightly forward pass in there, but the defence had already been made, and James Borton's kick for Chinner. James Borton is the top scorer for Chinner, 158 points so far this season. It puts him second in the Nat 1 scoring tables. 9 tries included in that. He's a loanee from Ealing, of course. Ealing are a big part of Chinner's setup there. Director of rugby, Richard Thorpe, was formerly played there before spending a season at Chinner, and then Craig Hampson, the head coach, played at Ealing. I think he played last week when he went to Hampton.
Don't know, but I had the pleasure of refereeing Thorpe on many occasions in the Premiership. Yes, yes, he's like most sevens. He liked to advise me where I was going wrong.
Well, our first kicking duty of the afternoon falls to an Ealing man as he bends it. Just went wide. So Chinner kept off the scoreboard for the moment, but we expect they'll be threatening it again soon.
I think they will. The battle at the breakdown there, I think, is also going to be key. I think we've got 2 teams who are going to look to attack that breakdown and look for some turnovers. The ref is, by the looks of it, very hot on it, so it's going to be quite a keenly contested area there.
It was one thing we noticed in the warm-up, wasn't it? Just the size of the sides in comparison.
And we got 2 balls. One of you nudge it off.
And just reflecting on their seasons, both teams have had the ebbs and flows throughout the campaign. Chinner coming into this off 2 wins. If they win this, it's their best run of form for the campaign. Rams looking to get back after losing to Sale. Bird getting onto the legs of Dean Hammond. The Tuolagi carrying them over the game line. Quick hands finding Smith. Might have just been left behind by Brockschmidt, so will be the knock-on and a scrum.
Knock on.
And first time for Rams to show what they can do in the set piece.
Yeah, so the first scrummage, Chinner engaged early, free kick against them. So I think that you can see that Chinner obviously fear the Rams pack, and it's the classic of like, by engaging early, you take the sting out of the drive, but obviously not to the referee's satisfaction. So he's come round this side as well to take the Rams tight head, James Baker. So this will be interesting to see if we can complete this scrub.
You're joining us, you're watching Rams versus Chinner live in National 1. It's fantastic to see so many of you tuning in. Got about 350 watching on YouTube, which is absolutely brilliant. When you add it to the attendance we had here, was somewhere between 800 and 1,000. So thank you for joining. We're going to try and get your comments in as well, so do let us know where you're watching from.
Interesting penalty for James, well, for the Rams there. James Baker putting the pressure on Tonguia. Tonguia obviously stands up as if he hasn't done anything. But
Number 1 on the angle.
That's an interesting part of the game that's going to get more interesting, I think, as the game goes on.
Yeah,
okay, so look, I'm biased because I'm from Rams, but I agree with the referee. You know, it's sort of like, you know, we talk about officials not making marginal calls. I just think that was clear and obvious and an easy decision for him to make.
Beautiful kick from Humberston. And he puts us right between the 10 metre and the 22 inside Chinner's half. This is a similar position we found ourselves in when Ben Henderson broke through for Rams for that first try after 8 minutes of play.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Rams trying to bring this ball down and get a bit of a drive on now.
Goes long.
Over the 15.
Finding McRae. McRae, of course, formerly of Cornish Pirates. Left there last season.
Thank you.
Plenty of experience at Exeter, know all about working in the pack. Ollie Cole, he's got Bird running on his inside line. Tuolagi helping to drag him down. Cole quickly moving it, finding Stapley. It's a couple of tackles to bring him down.
Still playing under advantage.
There's Grundy. Finding McRae. Humberston. D-Rud just tries to flip it over the top there. Was Michael Dykes. But we'll go back for the original penalty.
Yeah, I think Rowan Grundy could spot that we had the advantage there. Nice couple of phases coming off.
Number 5,
the Rams' bread and butter of a drive off the back of the line out.
That's 3.
Pulled down
Number
by
5.
Chinner, so that created that advantage to let them have a go.
Well, Humberston has taken it into his own hands. Teasing us a bit there. I thought he was going to line up for the penalty kick, but we're going to put Rams in position that they are very familiar
On the corner,
with.
Chinner.
5 metres, or just over 5 metres out, and pushing for the try line, you would suspect.
Close enough. I think, you know, we'd like to be on the 5, but we're just outside, so this would be
I imagine.
traditional catch and drive, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't think the backs will be expecting this anytime soon.
That one was picked up in the middle by Rams, and they get that machine moving. Stapley looked on his outside, but he managed to turn it. Still he goes. Stapley looking for the line. He puts it into McRae. Defence is equal to it. From Tuilagi, he's been everywhere for Chinnor's defence so far. Cole finding Henderson. Defence having to work hard for the host against the Rams with their heads down and horns facing. And a penalty one again.
You're fine. He's the wrong
Hamish
side.
Grant
You're fine.
praising the attack.
There. You're
Cole has it in his hand. I wonder which way he's going to go.
We haven't got a fair cost.
Very close to the
This
post.
might be interesting.
Number 3.
Do they take the 3?
I doubt it.
No.
I think it'll be
They're
a
going to
corner.
trust in their pack power again.
Keep that pressure on, squeeze them.
Line's yours.
Well, I remember there was a result a couple of weeks ago,
Ben,
wasn't it,
Ben,
against...
I know
well,
they're all
certainly the
different
result against
things,
Cinderford back
but the
in
penalty
November.
outside,
That
you
was
let us take
decided
control of it,
very
please.
late on by a driving maul right at the end. And I think Rams have had they've had a couple of penalty tries in the last couple of games as well. It just shows which way that they're going towards. That's Taylor winning it high for Rams. Take 2 for the home side. Henderson pushing it at the back. It's in the hands of Stapley. Cole looking to support. They turn it and they move. Have they got it over? Yes, they have. The referee's hand goes up. Let's see who comes up with it. And it's the number 3, James Baker. Well, he's been winning the battle in the scrum. He's won the battle for the try line as well. 2 tries, both for the front row.
It might not be pretty, but it is very effective.
Oh, it would have been fine. Yeah, good man.
Unfortunately, I promised James Baker a glass of Coke if he scored a try today. So if he scores another one, I've got to buy him a packet of crisps as well. So
What happens if he scores 3?
I'll be leaving pretty quickly at the end of the game if that happens.
Well, get your comments in, see how many you want him to score. Well, we'll see if Paddy's exit comes. Hubbardston looking to add the extras here.
Unfortunately, I also promised him if there's any scrum penalty tries that they could be awarded to him as well. So I could be skinned at the end of this game.
Henderson just wide, but the point still stands. Rams have put their heads down. They're locking horns with Chinner and they're winning this battle at the moment. 12-0 after 18 minutes, and James Baker, the scorer, will be delighted with that one. I think that's possibly one of his first tries of the season as well. But Nick Smith to get us restarted. Kept in by Henry Bird. Comes to Dykes. The loanee from London Irish.
Wait for the lift. There we go.
Won the Berkshire Cup 3 years in a row. Down at Maidenhead. Not too far away. There's a good connection to Maidenhead down at Rams as well.
Help him. Yeah, bench.
Just toying with the Chinner defence.
Black left.
But they're being very equal to it in the defence. It was McRae who tried to wheedle his way through the wall of yellow, but unable to find it. Expect now that Ollie Cole will use his box kick. He does. Gained a few metres out of that one.
Yeah, it's one of Ollie Cole's real strong points to his game is his game management. He knew what he was doing there, playing those extra phases, getting the ball into the right place for him to do his exit with his box kick. Probably didn't execute the box kick as he would have wished. But the way he manages the game, he gets the ball where he wants it to be, really helps us out.
So it's Chinner's first effort into the Rams 22, and they've been turned over.
Yeah, Paul
Slow
Schroeder
line
gets
out.
up there.
Inside.
Schroeder, he does that so often, doesn't he? He's such a big presence in that lineup.
He is. He's a very dynamic player, and that's how he does so well, getting up, particularly against the opposition line-out. He can get up very quick. He makes the decision early to get up, and as you can see from that,
it's done the job because
30
they've stolen the
meters,
line,
yeah.
gained the meters, and it just gives an opportunity to reset. And in fact, we'll get a chance to see the backs flowing as well as we did in the build-up to that first try, just before Henderson charged through. But here is our hooker for Chinner, Charlie Robinson. This time they get it right. Tonga feeds it out, comes back to the hooker. Luke Carter waits, bides his time.
Don't change.
Robinson finds a gap around the side. Tuilagi again supporting him. He breaks away the hooker.
Hide the ball broken
Now
away.
it comes out to our second row. Connor Brockschmidt, a towering South African. That's Borton. Had support from Yawa Yawa. That was Dean Hammond trying to skip past the tackle of Henderson. Again, I feel like they need to be quicker out to the wide positions if they're going to threaten Rams' defence. That was Glynn. Tuilagi. He takes a couple of tackles to bring him down. Smith for the 22. Smith. Read by Stapley, and Cole has it in his
No advantage.
hands. It was
fine.
Grundy and Cole, the half-back pairing, working together, but we're going back for the penalty.
Number 6
Not
hasn't rolled
rolling
away
away.
first. Same as over there.
Chinner just
Number 6.
putting the intensity up in their offensive position.
This is a chance for them now, down in the 23. They've not been down here for a while. They've been under pressure for the last 15 or 20 minutes, so they'll certainly want to come away from this with something.
Now Chinner's turn to see what they can do. They've got some big names, and we've already mentioned Seoane Tonga, man with World Cup experience. Connor Brockschmidt learned his trade down in South Africa. Willie Ryan, formerly of Rotherham Titus Hollionians. It's his fourth separate term at Chinner after 3 separate loans. They play it quickly and get it out. Tuilagi has to pick up the pieces. Still remains on side. Playing on the edge, Chinner.
I don't think that ball out the back of that line was intentional.
Tonga playing into his own hand. That was Hardwick. The deep run came from the flanker. Chinner trying to catch them out with their evasive runs. They're very close to the line. Carter, now the hands move. They try and get it out to Worrell.
Yeah, clearly backwards try.
And they've pushed, and they dragged Chinner inside to find that position. And it is that man who loves to score against Rams, Jason Worrell.
Yeah, nice bit of patience there from Chinner. Some big boys taking 3 or 4 phases up the middle. And as it does, the space opened up out wide, and they got the ball out there. Finished it very nicely.
Yeah, good pressure by Chinner, well rewarded with a good score in the corner.
Well, we said that these leagues are exciting, didn't we?
Back a little bit. Back over here.
Oh, there you find it. It's Kieran Goss. They were moving so fast, but I couldn't see the number. That was a blur. Such a blur that was the Chinner attack. But Kieran Goss getting himself his 8th try of the season.
I certainly think you'll see tries in National 1, that's for sure.
Kieran Goss, of course, learned his trade in South Africa with Eastern Province in 2012, won the Curry Cup as well that year. Or headed to Cornish Pirates for 3 seasons. And then it's his 2nd term at Chinner. And actually a shout out to his family who are watching from South Africa. Great to see you. And do let us know what you think of the stream. Extras. Well, extras missed again. There is a bit of a breeze up in the air, isn't there? It's just started to catch out the kickers from those close positions. James Borton, the kicker that time, but it remains 12-5.
Yeah, when you're ready. I know Robbie just said it, get more players moving a bit quicker. That will allow you a chance to go on the ball.
Rams will be playing in the second half in the way they like to go, which is down towards the clubhouse.
I had the fans so you can see over on the terrace.
Back off, Rams!
Pushed into the hands of Ben Glynn. 6'6" of him climbing to catch the ball. That was Smith. Lithogos is intercepted by Rams, and Humberston is breaking away. He's going to score. Looks for the pop over the top from Bryant. Have they got it?
I've
Well,
not
we'll have
got
to
a
wait
clear
and see
grounding
what
from my side.
our linesman and our
Held
referee
up.
say.
Brilliant.
No, he's saying it's held up right
Goal
at the
line
last.
dropout.
Henderson went for the alley-oop pass over the top of the
Held up.
Chinner defence. Steve Bryant
No clear
looking to
grounding.
go in for
Held
a
up.
slam dunk. Well, we'll get the replay. We'll have another look at that. But it moves so quickly.
Good work, Jeff.
Again,
Well
Chinner almost caught out by their own pace.
Yeah, probably trying to play a bit too much rugby in their own half.
It was Rossiter feeding Humberston, and it was Steve Bryant trying to come in. But I think he just got held up. The hand right at the back. Well, Kieran Goss from one end, from one try zone to the other try zone with the heroics. Rams have wasted no time getting restarted. Comes into the second row, Taylor.
I think if they'd had a TMO, that try might have been given.
We have an offside line.
That's Grundy. Humberston with the dummy. Going into Dykes. He's trying to break away from Tuilagi. Twists and turns. And keeping the Chinner defence thinking. But the penalty won by Chinner.
Another great turnover from Chinner at the breakdown. So
15,
important to
holding on.
make sure you support your players into that breakdown. Otherwise that happens and all of a sudden
Number 15.
you're 50
Holding.
metres back towards your own try line.
Oh, chance for Chinner to kick away after that breathless passage of
On the corner.
play from Rams. And there you can see
Half yard.
failure to release. The work done by Fred Tuilagi. He's had a bit of a good try scoring spree, 7 for him. So he's the nephew of Manu Tuilagi. And he's a son of Freddie. He's that next generation from the family.
Another disruption from Schroeder at the line out, allowing Vince Everett to pick the ball up at
Cole.
the base and Rams on the attack.
Well, Chinner thought they'd escaped, but the barometer reading goes right up again. Grundy looking to smash through. Stops by Glynn. Goes behind to Bryant. That's our last try scorer for Rams, the loose head, James Baker. Grundy, Humberston, overlapping runs. Rams running through. Cole will be called on again.
Yeah, Chinner's defence holding up so well under those first few phases.
Pass goes right out to Jack Rossiter. Has to step back inside and he takes it back to his 10-metre. Rams are holding on to possession, but now Chinner make their move, looking to turn. The Tonga falls out, they slip away.
Too long! Vantage too long.
Coming up to the half-hour mark.
We know that. Got advantage
It's
too
been
long.
absolutely superb quality of rugby that we've seen. McRae gets it out to Bryant. Borton is opposite number, locking him up, as is Rob Hardwick.
No advantage.
Go back. What does that tell us? It tells us just the intensity of the pace of the game.
If you're on track, can't
Exactly
stop
why he just
and
hasn't
go.
got the
If I
best
get
of
it,
position,
go.
so he's trying to
Don't wait,
overextend and
play.
get on the
Okay,
ball,
positive.
and he finds he goes too far, and you have to put your hands down on the
feet.
ground to stop yourself falling over. It's just a natural reaction.
Yeah. It shows the frantic pace at which this game is being played when as Paddy says, that we get to the breakdown. Such a crucial battle that it is.
I think Rams want to play at pace. I think that's, you know, that is part of the game plan. And they play at pace when they can.
Just a glimpse there of what James McRae offers you from 6. He offers you that classic link between the forwards and the backs that you don't see so often these days. He has the skills and the ability to offload really well out of a tackle in the midfield, allowing your backs to come onto him at pace.
Schroeder once again climbing highest for Rams to win that line, which has now gone
Hands off,
to
Rams,
ground.
a ruck,
Chinner defended that well there, to be fair to
You
them.
broke away, you made a tackle. Thank you.
Cole had Humberston, a massive hit onto the centre. Henderson. Glynn brings him to ground. Cole has options left and right, but the forwards carrying it themselves. There goes McRae again, forcing those meters out. 5 meters in sniffing distance.
Yeah, I think again those phases, the Chinner defence is holding up so well against those phases.
Just seeing it again.
Rams are going to have to get that ball a little bit wider maybe and attempt something in the outer channels.
Once again, it falls to the flanker. Spills now. Chinner tries to get a foot on it.
Turned over.
And they have. That was Hardwick.
That'll do, no more.
And then expected Smith will take the call soon to fly half to kick that pressure away, but majority of play has been in their half. To Alagi. Brockschmidt offering the support. Hardwick.
Just positioning themselves for their exit now.
Here's our scrum half for Chinner, Luke Carter. Not much of a chase, looking to just get out as far as they can. Takes them to the beyond, just onto the 22.
Line's yours. It's a different ball, we need both sides.
Rams
to be
going for a
set.
nice
We've
quick
got to have
line
both
out there,
sides
trying
set.
to catch
There's too
Chinner a
many
little bit
players
off
everywhere.
guard,
Nice
maybe
try,
get
Ben.
that drive on without so much defence, but
Goal, you're on the 22.
followed by the referee, unfortunately.
Half an hour in at Old Bath Road, under the Friday night lights. Rams 12, Chinner 5, 2 tries from the front row. One by Ben Henderson, the other by James Baker for Rams. But Chinner did strike back. They managed to get it out wide, which is what they were doing. And it was Kieran Goss that found himself in that position.
Line out call went wrong, but we recovered the ball fortunately. Try again.
Bullocking charge.
And within the seconds, we find ourselves back where Rams were before the box kick was taken. And Maris. Henderson. Grundy. Goes all the way out to Dykes. He's looking for some space, but he's got Henry Bird. He just misses him.
Beautiful miss pass there.
That was a chance. It was a gaping opportunity for the home side to make it 3 for this half. Just not quite able to find him.
Great vision from Rowan Grundy there. You can see the gap. Gets the ball from Hendo, sees the space and gets it out there straight away. Fortunately, that last pass just wasn't quite there to go over the line.
Henry Birdie saw the disappointment on his face then.
Disappointment on his face. You should see my disappointment.
I heard it.
He might have got himself a little bit flat there. It's a difficult pass to make.
5.
Robinson going through the motions for Chinner to take their own line out. There's been a case of Rams pitching camp inside their 22. Here's Henry Bird, collects this ball this time. That's Dykes. Takes the contact from Borton and Yawa. They've got a lot of men on their right side who all need to come on side. Oh, Stapley.
Not on the ball, thank you, 9.
It's Cole keeping Rams ticking over. Grundy, the fly half, locked up by the defence.
Yes, sir, advantage.
Well, McRae calls from the Rams bench. But they'll keep playing advantage coming for the home side.
Advantage, 8 high tackle.
Grundy kicks over, he looks for the run from Henderson, the hooker. He picks it up as well. Brilliant work from the front row. Pops some space. Grundy, again, they play a bit of volleyball on that right side, playing it tight, but we will come back for the penalty.
And we go to the corner.
Again, James McRae there showing his dynamism, picking from the base of a ruck, and instead of going straight forward, he took a step to the side, which gave the Chinner defender no chance but to take a bit of a tackle high, which again gives us a chance to kick to the corner.
Andrew Humberston looking to give this crowd another potential try-scoring opportunity, and
whereabouts?
we'll certainly see lots of those on Sunday night, because this game will, of course, feature on the National League Rugby Review Show, which comes up every Sunday. And this week we are going to be showing you all the best tries and biggest moments from around the country in National 1 and National 2 across the north and south. Lots of exciting games on this weekend. You can watch them all on NCARugby.com on Sunday evening.
On a free play for Rams on the penalty.
And this could be one that features. Let's see. They won it once again. Cole decides he wants to rip it out, but Tuilagi's going to drag him in. It's a tug of war in that maul at the moment. It's gone to ground. Advantage coming though to the home side. Maris stands over it. And Everett. But the front row goes himself.
That's something that's really been a focus for the Rams forwards over the last few weeks, is the ability to use that patience in the ball.
Still playing under advantage.
When it gets knocked.
Cole has found a bit of space on that right side, but again, he has to weave his way through. It's almost like a labyrinth through that Chinner defence. Dapley went for a move. Still going. Within a couple of metres now. Henderson tries to carry it. Cole will look to come out all the way now. Henderson, he'll kick it over. Looking for Dykes. Had Rossiter. He's got a difficult way though. He gets brought to ground. Dykes has it in possession. Rams went for the risky play, just hasn't quite come off. Here's McRae again. The flanker keeps them moving forward. Now it comes at pace.
I think he's still playing advantage. Quite right.
Time's off.
And I think he might have a word.
Well, the sock has been stopped.
Ben? Where's Ben?
Well,
Time's
our
off.
referee, Hamish Grant,
We're in the air first.
having a
Still in
word
the air.
with the
Then we had a sack.
Chinner
That's enough.
captain.
Okay, in this area, please. Sorry? There was two there.
Hopefully
the
what
air
he should have said
and then
is
a sack.
something ambiguous that doesn't tie him down to definitely giving a yellow card.
got in
He
the
said
air
something
here,
like,
Robbie, or
if
a
you
sack
count
there?
infringing, you might leave me no option to use the yellow card.
Okay.
And I think that's going to give Robbie
Yeah,
no
we'll keep
option
an eye.
now. The kick to the corner.
Turn back on.
Chinner forwards know they're under pressure in the defence of the maul now, so they're going to try and exploit that, I would imagine.
Yeah, agreed entirely, Paddy. I mean, say,
Line's yours.
as a neutral, I was watching it. Blue are in ascendancy at the line out. Gold had been won by the referee. Blue are going to go for the driving line out and then challenge them to keep it up legally.
Well, advantage Rams coming into this set
Timing
piece.
both
Be
sides.
good with the line out
Henderson.
first.
One once again
Ball.
by Taylor.
That's
Well
one.
set up from Rams again. Here comes
Henderson
that
has
patience.
it. He'll look to move on the inside.
Eight.
The twists and the turns. Tuolagi's out.
Advantage.
And now the move comes. They're pushing for it. Everett is helping as well. Maris looking to push them. They turn. But we're going back for the penalty. And now the card's going to come out.
No, he hasn't. Clearly changed his mind. Off he goes.
And that comes directly from
Clearly
that
changed his
patience in the
mind.
ball. Rams
No,
have
it was the ball.
got the discipline to hold the ball when it starts getting, the drive's not coming, and then allow that patience to reset and go again, which forces Chinner into mistakes like that.
Number 4.
Well, side
changes
entry
minds.
from our second row. Ben Glynn
Line's yours.
means he will spend 10 minutes in the sin bin. Chinner down to 14 men. Rams with a chance. Would you expect they'll probably go for that wall again? And, well,
I mean, it just kills the momentum of the driving ball. You know, Ben Glynn's an experienced player. He knew exactly what he was doing.
and once again, Rams win their line out. Now they'll look to put the pressure on Tuolagi, just grappling, looking to try and get there, but the movement is going for Rams. Edging closer and closer, and now they will drop. And Robbie Stapley will get his second try of the evening.
Pretty much a carbon copy of his first. by the
As
looks
soon
of it.
as it crossed the try line, he can
Well,
hit the back
the
foot because the ball's over there.
Captain leading from the
other
front
guys
for
did,
the
so he hit
home
back foot.
side.
But number 8 scored, so we've
Coming in
got-
after the birth of his
Cheers, Jack.
first child,
Second.
second child. 2 children, 2 tries.
If I give a penalty, no, we
Brilliant
want to be
work
positive.
from the number 8.
We want to be
And that
positive.
those
If you ask
numbers
for it,
working
can't-
wonderfully for Rams.
Be positive.
Had good setup on the
Come
ball.
on.
Yeah, it was great. Again, we won nice and cleanly in the air. We got nice and low on the engage, and then we had those
Start again, though.
3
We're looking at how it
initial
feels,
players
don't we?
coming
You know
through
that,
to make
Robbie.
that drive, and then the ball transfers back, and Robbie does what he does very well. He controlled the ball at the back. It looked as if he was going to break a few times, but he had the sense to see that the maul was going to go again, held it in, and he gets another try bonus for him.
Humberston looking to make it 2 from 3 from the boot. Not quite this time.
About a minute and a half.
17-5, a 12-point gate for the home side.
A nice time.
10 of those points thanks to the captain.
Yeah, lovely time to score there just before half-time. Let's just see if we can repel the last couple of minutes and go in with that nice lead.
Something to keep those fans over in the clubhouse and on the stand opposite us, keep them warm, keep them smiling for the home side. One straight away. Oops, slipped. As they count down, expect Rams will just look to keep that possession.
Use!
Ollie Cole will step up now. He'll manage this for the last few minutes and then get the ball off the park. So we can get in with the lead.
Look at the clock.
That's Tapley.
Look at the clock.
Get to the edge, so it's harder penalty.
Cole has options on left and right. It's picked up in the forwards. They've been absolutely superb. They've, like you said, in that battle of the breakdown, it's been going Rams way.
It's ever present, isn't it? Every breakdown. There's not many breakdowns that there's not competition coming from the opposition, which makes for a great game. Makes it interesting to watch. You're never quite sure which way the ball's going to come back, which is fantastic.
I've got to say, this is quite remarkable. We played 39 minutes. This is only the third scrum of the game. Remarkable at this level. Normally we've got about 10 by half-time.
It's just testament to the skill level of the players at this level. You know, to go this far with only 3 scrums at this level just shows how well drilled the balls are, how high their skill levels are, not to allow this to happen.
Discipline, pace and power, a wonderful concoction you get in National League Rugby between these two sides. Going for the free kick to Alagi. Going for it himself. Dragged down.
Free kick advantage.
Playing advantage
Just a
for
free
not
kick,
10, I
free
think,
kick
as well.
advantage.
It's a free kick advantage by the sounds of it, so Chinner aren't really going to want that.
Yawa looking for the gap, couldn't quite find it, but Chinner have accelerated the pace of the ball. Smith, wonderful hand. It looked to bring it out to Hammond. The Rams have locked them up on that wing.
Tackle!
Chinner for the first time in probably about 20
free
minutes,
kick advantage
having a good
over.
sniff of the, or 15 minutes, having a good sniff of Rams' 5-metre line. Tonguia to jump and tumble over the tackle of Henderson. So the penalty one.
You're fine. Number 2's the wrong side. You're fine.
Henderson being caught offside, they're just falling on the wrong
2's
side of the
side, he
breakdown,
denied the clear
unfortunately.
out.
I think Baker won the ball legally, and the tackler's been penalised for not rolling away.
That'll be half time. Shot called.
Chinner electing for the 3 points. The refs just indicated this will be the last play, so smart call by them to get a few points on the board before half-time.
Yeah, I thought you were fine.
Gives us a chance as well to say a thank you to Courtiers for their part in helping us put this together, and also to Talking Rugby Union and their part. We're going to be hearing from Chris Hill of Talking Rugby Union over half-time, chatting to some of the fans here at Old Bath Road, telling us why they love this level of rugby so much. And then we'll, of course, be giving our thoughts on what we've seen so far. In fact, we'll be giving them very soon. James Borton looks to put Chinner within single digits of the home side. He does that, no problem. Well, for 40 minutes, we've just seen Rams burst out of the block with their packed power for the benefit of Ben Henderson and captain Robbie Stapley. There was a response from Chinner through the quick hands to get their fullback Kieran Goss over the line.
There's a free kick.
But as we come in, it's Rams that have the edge under the Friday Night Lights, half-time. Rams 17, Chinner 8. And, well, boy, nice just to have a look at what we've seen so far. Very much the ascendancy of Rams, but why is that?
I don't know, I was just thinking as they go, I think the Rams will be pretty happy with how they've executed their game plan in that first half. There hasn't been many scrums to have the dominance. However, at the breakdown, Rams have been very successful in creating some turnovers. Line out has been an excellent platform, particularly in the opposition's half.
Yeah, and we certainly saw that. That is good try by Ben Henderson, the prime example of what you've just been saying there, Paddy. And, you know, Ben Henderson has actually been a star in himself in this half so far. Ashley.
He's an outstanding player, and he, you know, we've missed him earlier in the season when he's been injured. He's back again now, and he's shown tonight why he's an outstanding player. He's a fantastic footballer more than anything. He's a frustrated fly half. but he does his best work when scrummaging and throwing in and carrying in the loose like that.
But CHINNOR have had their moments as well. This was the one where we said we expected it to be the fast ball that would work for CHINNOR, and that was the exact moment here, Paddy.
Yeah, I mean, the limited time CHINNOR have had in the Rams half, they've done well, and you know, they went forward with a couple of phases, smashed the forwards up as they do, space, and as it does in rugby, the space opened up out wide, got the ball out there, and nice score there.
Yes, and then there was one more moment of forward dominance for Rams as they came in for that second Robbie Stapley try, and well, you'd expect to see a lot more of it as we come into the second half.
I think that if I was CHINNOR, I'd be quite happy at the moment with the number of times they've been in the Rams 22 and what points they've come away with. And I've no doubt Richard Thorpe will be saying, look, when we get in the 22, we are scoring points. We just got to get in there more often.
Absolutely. Well, what an evening we are having so far of National League Rugby. I think you're going to get a good chance to say hello to us after half-time in Old Bath Road. Rams 17, CHINNOR 8. We promised some high-quality rugby at Old Bath Road, and that's exactly what we're getting. We've got a crowd here tonight as well, and lads, it is really great to see this as well. This is Old Bath Road getting full tonight.
I mean, there's not many places in Reading where you'll get more value for money for £15 than you will here tonight. First half has been excellent. I don't think either team will be disappointed going to the change rooms. I think CHINNOR would want a few more points, but I think they'll be happy with the way they've defended in a lot of aspects of the game, and they'll look to turn that into points in the second half, no doubt.
It is, and this is our first opportunity to say welcome to you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Get your smiles on, guys. My name is Warren Melkson. I am your host, your commentator. I'm joined by Ashley Rowden, former Premiership referee, and Paddy Conlon, who has played for both Rams and CHINNOR, and there's currently a second coach at Rams. And like I say, we've been going around what we've seen. It was great to see such an intense half of rugby.
I think that's a great advert for National League. I really do. That's probably, you know, say people looking at home might think, is that the best national one can offer? I'd say it's up there. It's had commitment. It's been well refereed. There hasn't been that many errors. That's why, as Paddy said, there's not been that many scrums. And I think you've seen two game plans by two teams, what they're trying to achieve. And it's great to be played under lights. And it's great that it's being streamed all around the country. Because this is what, having been in Premiership rugby for 25 years, I call this proper rugby.
There we go.
Players train twice a week, do it for love, and turn out for not really much more than that.
It's great. You can see two teams really going at it. And when we're stood here, you know, quite detached from the game, but you can feel some of those hits that are going in. You know, you've got CHINNOR who are making some big tackles, chucking the ball up nicely. Tuolagi, as you've mentioned earlier, he's been everywhere, and he is quite clearly a very big, very strong man, and he's putting it about on the pitch. And you know, as a level 3 game of rugby, it's a great advert. The physicality, the commitment, as I said, with the scrums, the skill level, to be able to go through that whole game with whole 40 minutes with just 3 scrums is just fantastic.
It really is, and we're so delighted to have you joining us to see it. And what we've got, well, we've got some fans along here who have seen this. They come down every weekend to have a look at this level of rugby. And Chris Heel is chatting to them just at the moment on the pitch, and let's throw over to him.
Many thanks to Warren, Paddy and Ash for the first half commentary. Half-time here, Rams 17, CHINNOR 8, and I'm glad to be joined by Andy Anderson, lifelong supporter of Rams, and Mark Nichols as well. Andy, thoughts on the first half?
It's been a good first half. I think Rams just about edging this, but knowing what usually happens between these two sides, I don't think this will be close.
And it's great to see the fixture being played on a Friday night, and obviously we were hoping before COVID hit that we were going to get it before Christmas, but great, it's in March and we've got a great crowd here.
We've got a very big crowd here. Really happy to see this under the lights now. This will be good for the club.
Absolutely, and Mark, as Andy says there, it's going to be great for the club, but it's great for the whole league as well and the whole of the national leagues.
I think it's a great occasion for everybody. The standard of Nat 1, I think, is underestimated by many people in the rugby union world, and I think tonight it just shows the quality on show from both sides, you know.
Yeah, and obviously quite a special night for you as well, Mark. Your son Sam on the bench for Rams.
Yeah, I'm an honorary life member of CHINNOR, been involved there for 40 plus years, but Sam's on the bench and hopefully we'll make his debut later on. But yeah, nervous but excited for him. So and for yeah, nip and tuck. So yeah, very split loyalties.
I mean, I wouldn't say you've got a foot in both camp, Mark, but when you're looking at the overall game like it is tonight, it's a great spectacle, isn't it, to see National One broadcast by NextGen talking Rugby Union and National League Rugby.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, we have a great relationship with RAMS. I've been involved where we've had the returning students games and pushing all these young players up towards the National League. So, yeah, I think it's a fantastic occasion. We hosted RAMS 2 years ago before COVID on a Friday night, and we had a record crowd for CHINNOR bar our league playoff win. So, yeah, it's a fantastic occasion. The ground looks fantastic. The stadium's fantastic over here now. So, yeah, I think it's a tribute to the both sides, to be honest.
Yeah, and Andy, are these the kind of games that you look forward to as a fan when you stood on the gantry doing the scoreboard?
Oh, definitely, yes. As long as, you know, they're always close, every game is. Just trying to see what's happening under the gantry at times, but yeah, it really is. It's worth it here on a Friday night under the lights. It really does make it worth it.
And for my final question to you, Andy, it might be a silly question, but how do you think the second half's going to go? Do you think Rams can keep up that kind of pressure and dominance that we showed in the first half?
I would like to think so. I don't see why not, but I still think this will be too close to call.
Very, very diplomatic of you, Andy. Very diplomatic. And for you, Mark, obviously, if Sam gets on, it'll be a special moment. But how do you see the second half going?
I think if Rams keep that intensity going up front, I think it's difficult to combat. They're now going to their favourite corner in the second half down there. But we've seen it so many times before, games being turned in the last 5 minutes, and I don't know. I don't know who's going to win, but it's going to be close, I'm sure.
Well, that's the beauty of the National Leagues. We don't know what's going to happen in the second half. Join the guys for the second half, and many thanks again to NextGen, Courteous and Talking Rugby Union for all their support.
Well, that's right. Chris has told us all about what happens. And you can catch up with all the action every Sunday on the National League Rugby Review Show, the place to watch the best tries and biggest moments from around the country. Join me as I travel around the country to clubs and see all the best action. And it's available on Sunday evenings after the weekend's action. And all you have to do is head to ncarugby.com and subscribe. It will cost you £6 for season access. We speak to everybody. We speak to players, coaches, fans, and we just get lots of insights into how these leagues tick. So all you need to do, as I say, head over to ncarugby.com, and it's just £6 for season access, and you can get all the action. We'll be including the highlights of this game. And I think there's going to be a lot more to come from it as we go into it. And I mean, Paddy, coming into this second half, what do you expect these teams to be doing coming into it?
Well, I'd imagine the Rams are in there saying, well done, boys, keep it up. A little bit more of the same, please. I expect we'll see a response from CHINNOR in the first 10 minutes of this game. I think they'll come out absolutely firing. They'll put their big boys up the middle and they'll look for that space out wide, and they'll be desperate to get that first score. I think the first score of this half could be quite crucial. So yeah, I think CHINNOR will come out desperate for that score, and Rams will come out and hopefully do a bit more of the same.
Absolutely. Very quickly, whilst I've got us, we've had a little shout-out request, and it's for Jeff Lister, who is stuck at home watching. As I say, you've got to get well soon from all the boys who are watching, so get well soon, Jeff. And, well, I think we've got a set of 40 minutes coming as well. And I think, well, we just saw it at the end. CHINNOR are coming into this a man down. Discipline, do you feel that's going to play a bigger part as well coming into that second half?
I think CHINNOR will be wary of giving away any penalties just between their 22 and 10 metre line, because they know Rams will go for the corner, and they've already shown they can get the catch and drive going. I think that would worry CHINNOR. I think Paddy summed it up. I think the first score could be really crucial.
Certainly will be. Who will get it though as the teams come out for this second half? CHINNOR 9 points behind. Rams enjoying their night under the lights and in front of the live stream. As we said, this is the first time that we're doing this for National League Rugby. It's a very historic night across the leagues, and the raucous noise gets started, as you can probably hear. We'll have a look. We'll bring you any substitutions as they come. But as you said, CHINNOR with an uphill task, a mountain to climb, whereas the Rams are skipping up it like mountain goats.
It doesn't look as if there's any changes to the Rams so far, so as was for the Rams by the looks of it.
Well, Robbie Stapley, of course, will be keen to get a hat-trick. I'd imagine he'll be looking to utilise that pack power once again. But Chinner, as we can see,
A hat trick and a baby son on. That's just being greedy.
I
isn't
couldn't
it?
ask for more, could you?
just
Couldn't
greedy.
ask for more.
Just pure greed.
Should say a massive congratulations to the Stapley family, of course. A massive day for them yesterday. A wonderful day for them, and it's been celebrated here as well. Robbie Stapley certainly celebrated it in style, looking to add to that hat trick as well.
Yeah, I think Robbie will take the win. He wouldn't be too fussed about his hat trick. He'll just take the win.
Certainly
be
will.
happy with that.
Off we go. Fred Tuilagi taking it straight into hands. As remember, Chinner are a man down. Ben Glynn, their second row in the sin bin. Got about just under 5 minutes left. What can they do with it? Tonga carries it out. He's brought down just before caught on his leg. And immediately a penalty won for RAMS, and it's celebrated. The whole team coming over to celebrate the bringing down of the big Tongan.
Ben Henderson again, in straight over on the ball, taking a knock though while he's won the penalty.
He was out with injury earlier in the season.
He could be taking a knock. He'd also be taking a breather on the floor though, after making the turnover now in Henderson.
Yeah, I remember speaking to him. I mean, this is... I feel like it'd be a shame. You wouldn't want him to go off injured. You wanted to go off to a big round of applause. Really working, but it looks like he's holding his thigh. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. But of course there are options.
There are,
RAMS.
particularly at hooker. We've got Max Heyman on the bench, who's, I think Max Heyman kind of epitomises what the club is about. He's a guy who came to us a few years ago from Newbury, playing over at Newbury, not getting on too well. Came to us and he's flourishing. He is, you know, he's really knocking on it. There's no doubt, you know, Henderson is the multi-talented Henderson, but Max Heyman is definitely kind of the next cab off the rank. He's working very hard to get his game up to that level.
Well, the opportunity
22.
could be coming for...
Kick dead.
Well, we thought the opportunity
22.
was going to come for a bonus point, but I think they might have kicked it just too wide. Actually, I think they might have just kicked it straight through the box zone, and Chinner get a free kick out of that. I think the kick might just have been a bit off.
Humberstone was obviously going for the finest margin, but just about missed it. So, you know, still have possession somewhere near the halfway line, hopefully. So we'll see what comes of this. Here we go.
Again, that ball really sits up in the wind, a few metres up, and Rosser clattering into the tackle of Willie Ryan. That's Schroeter. This is now that tie where physicality comes through the first 10 minutes.
You can really feel those collisions.
There's Everett. It's only going to get harder as well, we feel. There's Ollie Cole, Humberston, just seeking a gap, but Chinner's defence is suddenly just tightened up. Henderson, he goes for the kick, but it's just blocked down.
That one's not.
And Tonga lands on it. But I think the free kick's coming for the knock-on. Well, something you don't see every day.
Well,
Going for the kick over the top.
If you watch RAMS, you'll see Ben Henderson do that quite a lot, actually. I'm not saying...
I think we're going to get a little replay for it. Here we go. Who fit like Hendo? So shall we go with that?
10.
It's frustrating because, you know, 8 times out of 10 it comes off. And it's the right decision, but that time it didn't quite work out. Lucky to get the knock on. So still another, well, the 4th scrum now, so we'll see what happens here.
So I think only our 4th scrum of the evening so far.
4th or 5th, definitely no more than 5.
And we said before, that's testament to the precision and power with which and pace with which these teams are playing this National 1 game. Remember, if you're just joining us for the first time, you are watching National League Rugby. This is the 3rd tier of English rugby. You've got Premiership, Championship, and then these two. Coming into these, RAMS are currently 6th at the moment, looking to, well, with this result, they would go into 5th, going ahead of Cinderford, who playing Gloucestershire. Chinner, who are 13 points behind them, currently taking nothing from it so far. But there is actually, this is a good opportunity to talk about a real tussle that's going on in National 1. Just as these sides set up for another scrum. But it's down to play like this, isn't it? It's down to this high quality play. That's why there's such a tussle at the top of the table.
It's probably the most competitive league in the country because they play 30 games a season. There's another penalty coming for RAMS.
Well, that battle in the front row going again towards RAMS. They play it out to the right. Henry Bird It's just dragged down. They look to carry the width, but did have it with CHINNOR again, looking to launch over that defence. I think Tuilagi might have had his hands on the ball. Cole manages to slip away.
Scragged at the back
No, we're not playing there.
Come back
Reminded
for
me
the
of
penalty.
Pac-Man almost, when he get caught in the corner.
That was a James Baker penalty, that one. Tonga Weir going back at a bit of a rate of knots and unfortunately folded in, which gave the referee no choice. And I imagine this ball will go down to the corner again, hopefully in play.
Yeah, Humberston's got his lines this time. Andrew Humberston finds,
That's a bit better.
he'll find the, just a bit about between the 22 and the 5. And Henderson,
Okay. Bin back on.
he'll look for either Taylor or Schroeder,
This
you
side,
suspect.
this side.
The referee's
I'll
just
come
indicated the bin back on, so we're back to 15
back
on
to
15
15
by the
men.
looks of it.
Might go to the back.
Well, this is the thing, they have had the height advantage, even though Schroeder, when he hit that, according to him, is not straight, so it will be an
Option.
opportunity
Come on,
for
line out,
CHINNOR
then.
to release that pressure being put on them
Come
by
on, line out.
RAMS.
I think Owen Roots will have his head in his hands after that. That was a prime opportunity missed. No defensive jumper going up. Nice clean line out, but unfortunately just not straight. Fundamental for a hooker.
Let's go then, boys.
If you're joining us, you are watching National League Rugby live. It's fantastic to see so many of you tuning in. Watching us, about almost 500 people, I think, watching on YouTube, which is great to see. I think we've got a lot of people watching on Twitter as well. Do let us know where you're tuning in from. We've got people in South Africa, in Australia. Got a lot of people everywhere. Everywhere we've got people.
So we've got a CHINNOR defensive scrum now. This could be quite interesting to see what happens here, because I'm fairly certain RAMS will want to put some pressure on this scrum now.
Okay, that's
See if they can get a
As I
turnover.
said, we're going to keep going until we get this right. Set our standards, please.
Here's a very interesting battle at the front end. The front row for RAMS, Ant Maris, Ben Henderson, James Barker, for CHINNOR, Sawani, Tonga Weir, Charles Robinson, Rob Hardwick.
There's a lot of Premiership experience in that CHINNOR front row. and
Young
not so
Mr.
much in the
Hardwick,
RAMS.
son of the great
Bind.
Rob Hardwick,
Of course.
ex-London Irish, Coventry, etc.
Rob Hardwick playing England under 20 most recently. He's a dual registered from Wasps. The ball kicked through, but that will go out. Nice touch from the team manager, Matt Maxwell, for RAMS there, I have to say.
You take the corner.
Nice exit from the 9 there. He was under a little bit, the scrum was under a bit of pressure, so he had to scramble. Took the ball into the open play and nudged it up to just towards the 10-metre
I know
line.
what
So
you're saying. I know what you're
see
saying.
if the RAMS line out can redeem itself this time.
You
And
notice how
Maris.
quickly National 1 scrums reset compared to the Premiership.
Henderson again going to the middle. We have Schroeder, Ollie Cole, as Rossiter, Humberston, back to Grundy. And this wonderful pickup from the winger, Henry Bird. He was right on his feet, had to get there. Cole again, coming inside. That's our second row, Paul Schroeder. He's keeping light on his feet as well. The kick goes over the top. He wanted the run from Henry Bird, but it's well cleared out by Goss, and it does bounce out just inside and bounced out, which means
Henry knew he's offside, that's why he checked his run.
very well managed. And once again, RAMS in a threatening position.
Yeah, smart rugby there, just getting the ball up the middle. Went another phase wide, nothing was on. And again, that's Ollie Cole's game management. He decided to take that ball. He thought, no, we'll put them on their own 5-metre line under pressure and see if we can turn them over again.
CHINNOR have to win it, and they do. But a real massive counter push if they get them down. If they get CHINNOR down inside their half, and they won't do. That's a massive hit as well on the wing to stop the charging run of the number 11, Dean Hammond, in its tracks.
Yeah, Henry Bird putting in one of his normal big hits on the wing there.
CHINNOR knocked that on.
The advantage coming, and they got the turnover.
Down in what Henry Bird likes to refer to as birdie corner.
Henderson, Grundy kicking through, looking for Jack Rossiter, but Goss will kick that up. But it will go back for that advantage being played.
Knock on.
Now there's a bit of a debate for you. Was that advantage to Rams because they weren't under any pressure and they sort of kicked the ball away? One for the officials to debate online.
We'll get your comments in on that one. Well, we'll have a look at it now. Give us your thoughts, Ashley.
The referee's always right, so it must have been the correct decision.
Last one was better. Keep that patience. We'll go slow. We'll go slower. Patience.
Scrum time again. Another chance of some pressure.
I wouldn't have called advantage over. I'd gone back to the scrum because it says it must be possession or territorial, and while they've got the possession, you couldn't say it was actually territorial.
As we enter this third quarter, the game's starting to work into the set piece, the discipline and the power from that. Having seen a lot of running rugby, we saw Rams trying to move it from side to side, but the Chinner defence was equal to it. It has been these battles at the set pieces that have been the difference so far.
Set.
Yeah, well, we knew that was going to happen, and you know, at this level, when you've got such good teams going at it, there aren't too many gaps that open up. And again, that's another strong scrum from the Rams.
60s man helping them push. Grundy into Dykes. He has an exertive acceleration. He's going to go. He's all the way to Jack Rossiter. The bonus point secured. Rams ramp through the Chinner line. The first little bit of defence, and they smashed through it.
Typically, just as I say, these gaps don't open very often. Rams managed to score a try off first phase ball, which you don't see very often at any level of rugby. Lovely line from Michael Dykes coming through, and he's just got that stop and go acceleration, which allows that space to open up for Jack Rossiter on the wing to do what he does.
Well, you could see the number 14, Jason Worrell, did try everything to stop him, but as soon as that burst of acceleration came from Michael Dykes, he almost knew that the inevitable was coming, and Jack Rossiter dotting down for the home side. A bonus point secured with 4 tries. And, well, coming out of the scrum over the scoreline.
That's a really nice score.
It was. Jack Rossiter loves nothing more than dotting down in the corner. You could see it on his face, how much it means to him.
Difficult angle for Humberston, this one. Chinner's mountain gets even steeper to climb.
Sorry, say it again.
Find themselves 14 points behind. It could become 16 if Humberston can get his 4th kick in.
Lovely
I think
strike.
that might just bend in, and it really does. Everything going for Rams at the moment. Andrew Humberston kick puts them 24-8 in front, the 16-point gate. Chinner with a big mountain to climb.
Lovely kick.
Again, the climb from Schroeder comes. Borton stays on it. Baker wriggling his way out.
He was trapped in
Penalty
there. There's no way.
not rolling away.
Carter finding his man, and then again the scrum half finding his fly half. That's Worrell. It's coming from that wing. Chinner trying to utilise those deep runs.
Yeah,
So there's an interception.
Come back for the penalty.
So we go back.
those deep runs that Chinner do so well is something that Rams tried to counteract with that line speed, which worked there, getting right up in their faces, shutting them down behind the gain line, not allowing that ball to go out the back for them to get the ball wide.
This could be Chinner's chance. Barker just found himself in no man's land.
Baker's got to make more of an effort there. He's got to sell it better to the referee. He made it easy for him to give the penalty.
Yeah, we are there.
Kicking by the fly half Nick Smith. Worked from New Zealand through the Auckland Academy and the Blues development. Played for the Barbarians in 2019.
On the corner.
And then spent a year in France with Biarritz last year.
Looks like
spending time with Chinner.
Looks like a Chinner sub at hooker just coming on now.
Yeah, number 16 is Keston Lyons. Coming off.
Thanks, Jeff. There we go.
It looks like it's the big man, Seoane Tongawiya, the number 1. So first shuffle comes from the away side, and they go straight to the number 16 as well, involved immediately. The starting hooker, Charlie Robinson, takes his own line out at the maul.
Next stop as we go, okay?
Carter staying close to it, but is splintered and they go down.
Yeah, good defence there from Robbie Stapney, going straight through the middle of that maul, splintering it.
There's a deep run from Yawa, but he's locked up brilliantly by Humberson. There's Glynn. Just a couple of options, overlap on this left side, but Chinner go for the direct approach. One more could do it for them. Inside from the fly half again to Glynn. Tulagi going for the direct.
This is an aspect of the game that the Rams will be hot on. They will not want Chinner to go over now. They pride themselves on their goal line defence.
That was a strong drive though, into about the 5th or 6th phase. There's the substitute lines. His dive has gone, and what an impact substitution that is. Keston Lines, 2 minutes after coming on the pitch, and he's over the try line. Chinner going for the direct, powerful approach at the breakdown, and probably for the first time in this game, winning those battles.
Was that commentator's curse there? Because I didn't quite hear everything Paddy was saying about we pride ourselves. And 30 seconds later, Chinner score. Look, well worked try, and they could have scored earlier in the movement. They had a clear overlap.
Just try turning off and on
Rams
again.
were well short on numbers, but Chinner couldn't get the ball out quick enough. But they came back on the pick and drive and a good score.
Thanks. Yeah, I've got you again.
Well, could that just be maybe the start of a change in fortune, a change in the momentum of this game? Well, he's a big unit, Keston Lines. Loughborough, spent its time at Loughborough and then Coventry last season. Was part of the Leicester Academy, went unbeaten in their 2017-18 season. You know, he's all about finding ways to win. Borton. Adding the extras, that takes us to 24-15, back to a 9-point gate.
Just trying to compute what's happened with that substitution. They seem to have brought a hooker on and taken a loose head off.
Oh, I can tell you actually. So he is actually a loose head prop, Keston Lines. So that does make sense. Yeah. So that is his regular position. Funnily enough, they don't actually have a hooker on the bench. So they've got two props and 2 flankers and a centre.
Well, I think they probably knew what was going to be coming at them in the scrum, so that's a good tactic, fairly good tactical decision. Yeah. As long as the hooker doesn't get injured.
That all came from Rams not winning the restart. Puts immediately under pressure. Penalty given away. Just shows how important it is winning the restart and clearing your lines.
Well, we've got an immediate stop.
Down injured.
Time's off.
I think that might be Ben Glynn who's down. He came on after the sin bin about 5 minutes into this half. But he's had an impact for sure, making the runs at the break, runs before the breakdown. But this will be a moment to take pause. It's just an opportunity as well for us to thank Courtiers and also Torquay Rugby Union for helping to make this live stream possible. You are watching National League Rugby live from Old Bath Road under the Friday night lights. Rams versus Chinner, very much a rival. I've been trying to come up with a name for this rivalry. You know, they've got like El Clasico, that kind of thing. Well, what do we go with?
Pushing the boat out on that, I think. I think it's just a rivalry that's over the years that both teams have come up through the leagues, level 6, level 5, level 4, and now level 3. Chinner got to level 3 before ourselves. We've caught them up. And they're, as the crow flies, they're about 30 miles away. I think the rivalry is there. Both clubs are similar in the way they connect with the community. They've got thriving mini and junior sections, and it's a healthy rivalry, you know.
And two well-supported clubs as well. You know, when you have 2 well-supported clubs coming together on an occasion like this, and the last time we did this up at Chinner, again, it was a fantastic occasion. When you've got 2 clubs that come together like this, you're gonna get a rivalry, and as Ashley says, it's a very healthy rivalry. There's a lot of respect out there, but yeah, there's no doubt that they want to beat each other, and you can see that out there today.
Certainly can. Well, the good news is Ben Glynn is up, but he will be replaced. So Ben Glynn, the number 4, the second row, being replaced by Alfie North of Chinner. So it's a shame to see his evening end.
So this will be interesting because this will be the first scrum without Tonga Weir on the pitch. Let's see if Chinner have managed to shore up their scrum.
So you are Keston Lines with a youth against experience now.
Yeah, again, James Baker enjoys when somebody else comes on and gives him another challenge.
He does.
Nothing more he enjoys more than a challenge at the scrum.
Bind.
It's interesting. I mean, it's amazing reading now James's record. I think 17 years or something like that at the club, with Newbury and the Bedford Athletic as well. But Chinner do win it out the back here in Goss, who does the try scorer in the first half, gets away from 1 tackle, gets towards the 10-metre. Chinner taking it up a couple of gears, moving that ball at pace. Yawa all the way out to Worrell. Dyke stays with him. But just trying to keep them onside. Here's Alfie North, his first involvement with ball in hand. Borton.
Just crunch tackles going in. The commitment is just unbelievable.
That's Ben Manning.
That's free play for Chinner. Penalty against Rams at the breakdown again.
Tackle!
Chinner just held up a little bit, but they do go back for the penalty.
Fine. You've ripped it. Back over
Henderson,
here.
no rush to give the ball back in that
yet.
scenario.
Number 3's the
rolling
wrong
away.
side again.
So again, it's the classic that the player on his feet is actually winning the ball,
three.
but it's the tackle player who hasn't rolled that's allowed the jackler to go in and win the ball.
So Nick Smith looking to give Chinner another advantage again. They've had their two of their 5 changes. It's given them that momentum, but they don't get the ball out this time. Jack Rossiter throws the ball out like an Olympic javelinist all the way out, but it goes right the way downfield to Fred Tuilagi. He's got a lot of room to run. You can't give it to Tuilagi that. And he clatters into the tackle. That's astonishing.
If you're going to kick the ball, if you're going to kick the ball back to Chinner, there's a man you probably want to avoid.
Borton, he's managed to break away from the tackle. He's got the support from his scrum half. It comes back to Borton. This is a second try for Chinner in 5 minutes. And could this be the start of a massive comeback for Chinner? What a blistering breakaway from Borton. And that's just changed the dynamic here, buddy.
Yeah, you know, here we are 50, 60 minutes into the game and there's a few gaps opening up. You know, the quality of rugby has been so good and continues to be good. And, you know, you can't argue that. It's a great line break, great support, 2 passes, and there you have another try. So, yeah, I think it's very much game on for the last quarter of this game.
Now, actually, tell me, what will Robbie Stapley be saying to his boys over there on that try line?
I think
I don't think that could go over the airways, could it?
No, Robbie is matured as a player and he's a very good skipper and he is very calm. Having been behind the posts in the past, he'll be saying, we stick to doing our game plan, we stick to our job, and we go back down the other end and do what we're really good at. The kick wasn't very good, while the chase was good. We didn't manage to slow the ball down quick enough. Really good line through the middle from Chinner and well finished off. Everything to play for.
Certainly is. Well, we'll wait for the kick to come through there. A try scorer is currently taking the kick. James Borton continues to add to his tally for the season. He's certainly over the 160 mark. He'll certainly be chasing down 200 for the season. I think the record for the National League Rugby is almost a 400s, I think, and I think it was done by Coventry player. But that conversion goes through. We're down to 2 points, and we've only got a quarter of this match left. Are you on the edge of your seats yet? Because this is National League Rugby for you.
I was about to ask you who's your money on. As a neutral, momentum is with Chinner. So Rams have got to get the next score, stop that momentum.
Yeah, I'd expect Rams to try and get this ball down in the 22 now, a bit of territory. Try and squeeze Chinner.
This is where we've seen so many dramatic moments, but a penalty won by Chinner. Momentum is really starting to shift. I can see Siwani Tongawe, he's right on the edge of the technical area with Richard Fort with the coaching team. Richard Fort leading them out there. They're maybe just starting to feel a little change in the wind.
Oh, definitely. Momentum has suddenly switched to Chinner. And as any sportsman will tell you, momentum is huge. It's up to Rams to somehow stop that momentum, either with a turnover, win a penalty, or something. They need to stop that momentum, either legally or illegally, and get away with it if the referee doesn't spot them doing it.
Boys want to have a go.
But at the moment,
it really hard to reward you,
it's Cheltenham week. If I was a betting man, my money would be on gold at the moment slightly. Well, they've come back into it.
Ben, come on, Ben.
Could be a golden day then, perhaps.
It could be a golden
day. We will see. And you can hear that there's some cheers coming over there from the terrace, so cheering the boys on.
I think that's probably a little bit more intimidation than it is cheering.
I think it is. I think it's certainly supporting the Rams, giving them that 16th man.
Which is so vital for us here sometimes. In games like this, it definitely comes up.
It is wonderful to see everybody out here as well, seeing that terrace really full. Everybody on the edge here. But this is the line out to come, and it'll be... There's one at the back by Willie Ryan. Tuilagi takes it in hand, the ball gets set up. They don't get that early shift though. Rams set up very fast with the counter
Their line-out's beginning to function better as well. It was a bit iffy in the first half.
Spills out, but Carter able to stick with it. Borton, the try scorer. He won't burst through that gap, but it's Grundy. The setup.
He's held up there.
Locks him up.
Tackle.
Thank you, Seven. Good work.
That's our substitute front row lines. Going over the 10-metre line. Carter. More deep runs. Smith's turning away. There could be a call. There's some big ones from the line. Advantage coming.
Just slipped up above the ball.
To Ilagi. Worrell, Yoa looking for the gap. He's finding a burst of pace as well. He's over the halfway line.
Another penalty.
Chinner sensing an opportunity to score. Once again, it'll be a bonus point for them as well.
Rams have got to work on their discipline without a shadow of a doubt at the moment.
Nice.
They're just hemorrhaging.
Smith, he's jumped through the gap, and he's got the support from Ben Manning. Borton, he's going to break away again. He'll have Worrell. It'll come back to the 7. It's intercepted right at the death by Jack Rossiter. Well, talk about a last-ditch to interception. That is what it's all about.
Absolute slice of luck there for Rams. I think Chinner just
Ben
thrown that one
Henderson's
away.
limping.
Henderson, now could be, yes, I can see it. But
Not now.
it's
On the floor first.
Bryant that has the ball at the breakdown. Just a couple of nervous looks coming around Old Bath Road for the home side now.
Only a couple.
Only a couple.
Only a
That's
couple.
from what I can see.
I think this is where Rams need to
You'd only
This
see
is the
me
break that we're
you'd
seeing
only
here.
see me and Paddy.
I'm taking you for the majority here, but here is the breakthrough here. It comes from the fly half next to he just steps away from Henderson. I think that's where he's limping from, is that Ben Manning jumping through, and Borton, who has suddenly just found another gear in this game, had Worrell on his right, but went back for Manning. The interception.
If he'd gone right, it'd have been a walk-in.
I think that would have been it. Those are the moments that can define these games.
They absolutely are. Great cover tackle there for Michael Dykes.
James Baker's
keep us
coming
in
off
it.
for Rams, by the looks of it.
Yes, number 17 is on. And Baker.
So James Baker off. I think he's done his job for the day. And now, again, another thing we're quite proud of is that young boys like Paul and Glace coming through again, who came to us from Newbury a couple of seasons ago and has developed massively as a tight head and has now kind of established himself as James Baker's number 2.
Okay. Time back on.
Chance to see the new generation of Rams are bringing through, and what a time to see them. Just over 15 minutes to go of this game. It's won well by North. That's Carter finding Smith. The ball is very fast. The burst of pace from Kieran Goss. It could take him all the way over the line. He's got the support, but he just doesn't find his winger, Jason Worrell. And now it's kicked back downfield. There's a chase back on. Chinner should win this one. But Jack Grundy was all the way there with them every step of the way. I need a moment to catch my breath here, guys.
Well, it's just another
Amazing
example.
rugby.
Another example how that momentum can shift. As soon as you get a little bit of momentum, you start getting a little bit of confidence. Chinner starts spinning it wide, and then bam! All of a sudden, you've got the guys hitting the gaps, going through.
As a kick comes through the top, it's won by Bird, but Worrell was right underneath him.
I think Chinner and that lovely little tip-offs that they're doing is really working well for the moment, and we need to snuff that out.
You can see this wave of golden aggression from Chinner. They're just holding Rams back inside their own 10-metre now. And they'll look to just try and take the pace of the game down. Ollie Cole kicking over. That's Goss.
Kick was just a little bit too far, not quite short enough to compete, not far enough to pin them back.
Here's Michael Dykes chasing down the loose kick. The dual registered player from London Irish. Kicks it back downfield. Just looking to clear some pressure away. We're on to the halfway. We're going to have another substitution for Rams coming up. And it's going to be Connor Stapley coming on.
Give me not straight for one that hits him on the
I
pin.
imagine it'll be James McRae or Vinny.
It's inside hands with just
Okay.
Or his brother
Don't
Robbie.
shout at me. You're making my life hard if you
Maybe.
start shouting.
Well, we'll see.
Who's coming off?
Well, Uncle Connor,
Time's off.
new
Sorry,
Uncle
sorry?
Connor today.
So I think it's number 4. I mean, it's Ollie Taylor that's coming off.
4 blue sub. Number 4.
Yeah, Ollie Taylor, he's certainly had his moments. Maybe hoped to be getting on the scoreboard, having scored against Bishop Stortford a couple of weeks ago, but now's the time. Connor Stapley, of course, alongside his brother, He actually scored the third try against Chinner in the 27-21 home win here over 2.5 years ago. So he knows about scoring.
Not straight there. That's 1 all on the not straights. I think Rams will be very happy with that.
That's the sort of break that Rams need. That's a not straight. And he's put it on halfway, but we've got to win the scrum. And this will be the first scrum without Baker on the pitch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Paula Glazos gets on. It'll be, you know, again, it's a scrum, so Rams will be looking to put the pressure on and maybe turn this into a penalty and pump the ball down into the corner. But
it could be a change of the hooker as well coming on as well, and there's going to be a front row change for a back row change for Chinner with Max Heathman stripping down at the moment. But this
quite
is so
interesting because people think the Rams have got a big pack. We don't have a big pack. We've got a very technically good pack. You know, if you look man for man tonight, Chinner are, I would say, bigger.
Okay.
Technically, are they as good in the scrum?
You set yourself left.
That's what it's about. It's about working as a cohesive unit, isn't it? That's what it comes down. You've got the bigger unit players, but they're not working together.
That's what Paddy and Owen Root, the forwards coach for the first team, you know, they're on the scrummage machine Tuesdays and Thursdays nights. It's something we at Rams maybe see that scrummage, unlike World Rugby, as not just a way of getting the ball back into play. It's a real weapon to be used.
It's certainly being utilised. You've seen it a lot of times already tonight, and of course you can see it a lot more if you subscribe to the National League Rugby Review Show, the best tries and biggest moments from the weekend's action. I'll be back on the road this week, Sunday at 6 p.m. NTARugby.com. It's moved very quickly now. Jack Rossiter kicking through.
Lovely kick from
That was a
Dykes
kick from Dykes looking for Jack Rossiter. It's chased down by Kieran Goff, but he needs support. They're going to charge him
That's
down.
going to be an attacking scrum.
Massive moment for Rams. It's celebrated almost as much as the tries.
Well, it's a 5-yard scrum, so it's something. So, you know, we talk about
scrum,
momentum change. That could be it.
They're just getting a good look at each other.
What did I say, 5 yards?
5 yards, but
oh, well, I am
63
in August, so, you know.
Well, you could have your choice if you want. Fancy a challenge?
This could be a crucial play here now. If Chinner engaged a little early in the last scrum, maybe they were keen to get on top of Paul and Glazos. He's just on, so this could be very interesting to see what happens here.
Oh, Chinner perhaps hoping to get their talons into their opportunity of momentum building, but Rams may have just shut it out for them. We'll see from this scrum. We saw how quickly they moved out of the first one. Here comes the kick down. It's Kieran Goss. And Jack Rossiter's right behind him, as is Michael Dykes, who's actually been superb in his positional play today, the fullback. But here comes that scrum. Ollie Cole to put it in. The calls echo round Old Bath Road as they look for that forward momentum. Ooh. Taken out quickly by Robbie Stapley, tries to break away, but he's locked up.
Yeah, Robbie felt that scrum wasn't good.
That move might come. Ollie Cole has lots of options on his right. That was a good tackle by Brad Tuilagi. Now it comes out to
wide.
Everett. Ball might have just filled out the back roster. Uregalainen moving his way ever closer to that line.
It's a war of attrition down there.
Chinner are digging their heels in. Rams are looking to batter that defence. But our substitute, Connor Stapley, looking to get involved almost immediately. Engelsos helping with the push. Couple of phases in. Rams can sense an opportunity to try to dive over the top of the tackles. And then they've done it. That's the move that gets the momentum back. And guess
only
who
got
it
his
is?
hat-trick.
Robbie Stapley.
Of course he
What
has.
a couple of days he's having.
Of course he has.
Second shot and now a hat-trick under the Friday night lights. That was a hint of a smile, I think, on the camera there as well. But it puts Rams back in the driving seat. A little one scrum, a bit of pack power, and that's the perfect concoction for getting back in the lead for Rams.
Yeah, you're not going to get too many more smiles from Robbie until the final whistle goes and it's a Rams win. But again, that's we talked about it all game. The forward battle at the breakdown, that sustained pressure, pick and go, pick and go, pick and go. And to have that patience to be able to go that many phases and still get over, good discipline, great discipline.
Cheers come up for Robbie Stapley for Ben Henderson as he comes off, and also for Robbie Stapley for the score. Got a substitution for the hooker. Max Heyman will come on. Andrew Humberston looking to add the extras, which he does. It takes Rams into the 30-point mark, 31-22. The gate back to 9 points. And just when Chinner thought that they were going to get into a place to take the lead, Rams just suddenly flipped this game on its head.
There's a lot of rugby left to be played in this game yet, I'll tell you that.
Do you want me to talk about the legality of the try?
If you'd like to.
I'm not sure Robbie Stapley was the last player in the ruck when he picked the ball up, but the referee's given it, so it's a try.
Well, there we go. Ball tops out. Just got to let you know, guys, that we've got 600 people watching this live stream on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody watching. Thank you to Talking Rugby Union and, of course, to everything they've been doing to help push this. It is what a spectacle we are seeing under the Friday night lights. We promised a lot of tries, a lot of quality, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
Some pressure now here on Max Heyman for his first line out.
Big first throw for Max Heyman.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, he's got a lot of experience, the new former Newbury Blues man. Goes short, one well by Connor Stapley.
Yeah, smart call to line out. His first line out gave him quite an easy jump at the front. A little bit of a nudge on the ball now, and again, the pressure's going again so quickly how that momentum can swing.
Over the top we go. Smith. Fly half on fly half. The Rams one takes him to ground. Kick goes straight through. It will come to the hat-trick man, the hat-trick hero, Robbie Stapley. Might go for a little run.
I thought
takes him to the 10.
Kick it there. That worried me a little.
Down the middle.
Connor Stapley straight through the middle there.
McRae. That's Grundy. Kicks it through. It'll sit up for Smith. But it bounces in front of him. That's a knock on. An advantage coming. And the singing is started above us.
Sometimes you make your own luck.
Might be a bit of space coming around the outside. Yawa has to be there in defence. It's kicked through and just out by Luke Carter. Have to say, Luke Carter, the former Bath Uni man, has been having a much busier game. He was having a busy game during that build-up in momentum, but that try has just suddenly changed everything, hasn't it?
As I said earlier on, you just want one thing: a turnover, a steal, a referee's decision your way, and sort of like, again, the momentum has maybe swung back again to Rams. It's a 2-score game, and we've got a scrummage 35 metres out midfield. So if we can get another score here, or keep the ball down in the corner, the pressure goes back on Chinner.
Well, we've got a second here to a quick shout out to Marcus Noy, who's watching at home.
Fantastic.
Hope you're enjoying yourself, Marcus. No doubt you have some.
It is great. We'll give him a little wave to the camera as well. Couple of changes for Rams. Fred Tuilagi coming off for number 18, Max Heathman. And for Rams, well, this is a big one. Number 21, Sam Nichols has just come on the
Sam
pitch.
Nichols.
Former Chinner Colts captain.
Correct, yep.
He's just come back from Australia, now he's playing for Rams. So what a big story that is.
It's a great moment for him. It's his Rams first team debut. It's his National One League debut. And it's against his old club. He was absolutely buzzing on Thursday for this game to come.
And I told her, Matt Maxwell told us there's a ceremony that goes place in the change room when you're given your shirt as well for the first time as well. They must have been absolutely loving that. I know he's the 44th player that
we've used this year.
Well, until Alex Sparks comes, actually it's the 43rd. If Alex Sparks comes on wearing number 19, that'll be the 44th. It goes straight through. Chinner have turned this one over.
No left.
Quick hands, but again it bounces. They've just lost that fluidity, haven't they, and that connection between them. That one picked up by Lyons, who scored that try in the start of the second half for Chinner after Jack Rossiter had gone over.
Oh, great line speed there. Just missed that first up tackle, which would have put them down a couple of metres back and really sucked the energy out of that attack.
Kieran Goss ever elusive. We're so keen to say it for the extra. Better out than him. But Chinner still holding on to possession, but they're just on the 10-metre.
Well, you can see Rams that they've got their energy up now. The line speed is pushing quicker with that momentum. They're getting up to Chinner, getting beyond that gain line, putting them down beyond that gain line, which just sucks the energy out of an attack.
Just need to keep our discipline here. Don't give away any silly penalties. Just keep our discipline at the moment. Chinner are struggling to go forward. No silly penalties.
Well, this is what we've seen before with Chinner. When they've lost their games, they've lost them at narrow margins. When they against Coley, DMP at home, against Plymouth as well. They were close ones, and it was during these later stages. So that's kind of what you'd expect to see. Good crossfield kick.
Yeah, great clearance from Chinner, but they were forced into that. They'd gone through 4 or 5 phases of relentless defensive pressure, putting them down. So I think they kind of took their chances and got rid of it, give themselves a chance down the other end.
Well, line out another one to Max Heyman. Got about 6 minutes to go of this game.
What we need to do is keep the ball now for about just keep it for 2 minutes. Just keep running the clock down. Nothing silly. Execute really well and exit well.
Well, it's been an absolute joy watching these sides under the Friday night lights. And as we come into these last 5 minutes, actually, gentlemen, what I'm going to do is ask you for your man of the match, actually. So
I've already got my man of the match.
All right,
You're going to say that. I've got no idea.
Oh, you do have an idea. I just beat you to it.
Let's see what comes out of this. Chinner move. Borton looking for another breakthrough.
So you're giving the
I'll
ball
come
back
to you in the next break of play. That's Goss. He looks to step. It's not quite coming in. Ball spills forwards, and it will return to Rams possession. Now a burst from Jack Rossiter. And Chinner, for all their pressure, just can't make it count. One little slip takes the opportunity away from them.
Their execution at times has been a little bit off. That's, you know, they played some really good rugby, but just the odd pass has gone to ground, either giving the ball back to Rams, or they've lost the momentum and allowed Rams to regroup and get the D-line going.
Yeah. Well, whilst Ollie Cole's making this box gate, gentlemen, I'll ask you for your man of the match.
Well, for me, there can only be one. If you score 3 tries in a game, I think that, and with the birth of his first son this morning at about 3 o'clock, for me it'd be Robbie Stapley, the Rams captain.
Rams captain. But
it's difficult to disagree with that. There's lots of players who've put their hands up. I think Michael Darks at 15 has been outstanding, both in attack and defence. Jack Rosser is his normal dangerous self. Then up front, the whole front row performed well. I think James McRae's been quite outstanding from his position with some of his link play and the skills he shows. But yeah, there's no getting away from the fact, you know, this team is a bit of a reflection of Robbie these days. And scoring a hat-trick on the same weekend you gave birth to your child, you got to go with that, really.
It's ironic, we give man of the match to the best player, but rugby is the most complete team sport probably ever played, and he couldn't have done it without 14 other players helping him. That's the ironic
Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say the ref should have got it there, Ashley.
No, the ref. I have to say I've been impressed with the referee tonight, Hamish. He's refereed really well. We've hardly noticed him. I think he's been consistent. He hasn't pulled any rabbits out of the hat. And everything he's given, we'd all probably say, yeah, you had no choice. That's all you want from a referee.
Anytime he's had
and
to
he's
do
tried
it,
to play advantage.
Yeah.
And he's facilitated the players. The players decide what sort of game it is, and the referee facilitates it.
It's amazing. 3 minutes till the end of the game, and the intensity down on that scrum is still 100%.
Yeah, you can
looking to. You can hear it.
You can almost
from here.
feel it from where we are.
And they're looking to fire into each other. Even Ant Maris, you know, I imagine if given him the choice, he'd have come off 20 minutes ago, but he's still going for it.
And there we go, straight down, but the penalty one quickly. Ollie Cole is not bothered about the advantage being played. Humberston crashes into the Chinner line. There could be one more try left in this game yet, and it could go to Rams at this rate. Heyman with the deep run, but it will come to Nichols. Kick runs high. Rossiter. It's kicked up by Worrell, but we're going to go back for that advantage. Expect they'll probably go for the line out this one again.
I think without a shadow of doubt, we'll go to what we know we're good at. We go for the line out and the catch and drive.
Yeah, again, another scrum pressure there. Paul and Glazos getting the penalty on the tight side. I think he'll be very, very happy with that.
A little word of advice from the Rams CEO, Gary Reynolds, just giving Andrew Robertson some accuracy advice. But I think he'll be very happy. I think what we've seen tonight is a great spectacle, and what we've seen live on YouTube as well is a great spectacle.
Yeah, I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I hope everyone's seen that sort of National 1 is a really good standard of rugby. That, okay, it hasn't got the physicality of the Premiership, but and it's probably a little bit more open because tackles are occasionally missed. But in terms of skill level, it's a really, really good league.
Well, it's time for one more line out. We've approached the last 40 seconds of this superb Bucks bash, let's call it that.
Oh, there we go.
Spells out quickly, that's
James
a McRae
on the gallop again.
over the 22. They are just hangering for that 5-metre line, that 6th try of the evening. That's Bryant. That was Dykes. That's a wonderful run from Henry Bird all the way across the line. That's the cherry on top of the cake. Rams have battered Chinner in this last 20 minutes.
Henry Bird going over in at the self-proclaimed birdie corner.
Well, he flew like a bird, at speed, swift, to pack a massive punch into Chinner. The sharpness on their talons has just been blunted.
You
what a
see
game for Rams.
The speed of the ball in those last few phases from the bottom of the breakdown was just superb. And again, that momentum goes and space opens up and Henry Bird does what he does.
We've seen it so many times. I think he did something similar the last time these sides met at Old Bath Road 2.5 years ago to get that comeback for Rams started, but there's been no need for that for the home side. They have controlled this game from the set piece. They've used their power at the breakdown, and when the pace has been required, it has been used to maximum efficiency. And that's why Henry Bird gets the 6th try of the evening for Rams to take us to Rams 36, Chinner 22.
Little wobble when Chinner scored those 2 tries in 3 minutes, but we reasserted ourselves, went back to what we were really good at, scrum and line out, did the basics, and I think people watching will think we're deserved winners.
That is the last kick of the game. Comes from Mark Nichols by the look of it against his former side, and that wraps things up at Old Bath Road in what has been a rip-roaring affair for Rams. Having scored 3 tries in the first half, they've scored 3 in the second. Chinner gave them a scare when substitute Keston Lyons and also James Borton scored within 5 minutes of each other. But in this game, it's all about discipline, it's all about composure, and it's all about maximum quality. And that's what Rams had to finish 38-22 winners. They take the Bucks bash in National 1, and they do it in style.
Yeah, they do, but you've got to give credit to Chinner. You don't get a game like that without 2 good teams being out there. Yeah. And, I think at times Chinner's defence was outstanding, and it took a lot for Rams to break it down. And at times, when the game opened up a little bit and they went to that unstructured attack, Chinner made some gains. But I think the relentlessness of the Rams' defence and then spotting the gaps and going through them obviously came through in the end.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, Chinner will have their moments and they'll reflect on this. They were certainly close to coming back ahead, but just not quite their day.
Even at this level, the game's about fine margins. 24-22, Chinner bursts through the middle. We think the ball should have gone out to the right. He goes back inside. Jack Rossiter intercepts. We snuffed out the danger. What might have happened if Chinner had scored then?
A massive moment.
So even they talk about test match level, but even at level 3, sometimes games are decided on small margins, and that was a small margin. Chinner didn't score. Rams came back into it, and as I said, I think people watching will think that Rams were deserved winners.
They will. I mean, we're seeing them congratulated as well. This is something we don't see. It's something you see every week in National League Rugby. The teams will congratulate each other. We can see Robbie Stapley there. I think their smile is just starting to come across his face. Just about. But Chinner getting the tunnel, and then, of course, Rams will get it as well.
But it goes back to that fundamental of rugby, the respect, isn't it? Those guys have just battered each other for the last 80 minutes, and they're there, genuinely, appreciating each other's efforts and respecting each other, which is fantastic to see.
It is. It has been a wonderful game that we've seen. These guys know each other. They've worked up the ranks of English rugby together, and on this Friday night, under the lights, it has been Rams night. Nice little rhyme. Well, I think whilst we're going to hear from, do stay with us on this live stream on YouTube provided by NextGen and by courtesy of Talk Rugby Union, because we are going to be speaking to the people who are right at the heart of this one with Chris Hill, who'll be grabbing them. I think for the moment, if we could have a look at, well, reflect on some of those key moments in that second half. And I think, Paddy, we said right at the beginning, it was the team that got the first try of the second half that was going to be, it was going to be absolutely crucial. And at the end of the day, it was Rams who we see there.
Yeah, and we've spoken, when Ashley put it very well, about the momentum, and momentum is such a key. Rams scored just before half-time to open that little gap up, which I think would have given them a little bit of breathing space, but then, you know, you come back and there goes Jack Rossiter with that try. You can see Owen Root and Seb Reynolds in the background enjoying that very much. And as I said, Jack loves scoring that, and you know there's nothing better than for a tired forward who's just got up from a scrum to see the winger going over in the corner to give you that bit more confidence and energy to keep going.
But then something came for Chinner, didn't it, Ashley? So it changed their momentum.
Yeah, this is where Paddy said that Chinner wouldn't score because we're so good defensively. So
we'll edit that out, Ash, don't worry.
They came back into it, and as I said, you know, they showed how dangerous they could be. This try in particular, really nice line through the middle off a short pop pass.
It was one
missed tackle, and then just good interchange there, keeping in support, and finished off really well despite the last-ditch tackle. And I think the alarm bells were ringing for Rams. You said to me, what would Robbie be saying under the post? I said, he'd be saying what he normally says. Look, you know, we've conceded 2 tries. We go back to what we know we're good at doing. You do your job. We concentrate, attention to detail. And then he sort of proved it himself.
I'd like to... Is he
the last player in the ruck?
I don't think he is. But the Stapley brothers combined for what was, well, a great moment for Robbie Stapley. Hat-trick hero. And
a very smart score from Robbie there. You know, most players would just go round to the back of that breakdown looking for the pick and go. He sees the gap and picks it and goes straight himself.
This was really nice. The 6th one was really, really nice. Worked it well. Good depth of lines of running from the backs.
I think the only person who might be nervous is Tom Voot, because he's the top scorer for Rams this season, and that might just be a threat towards him. But it certainly was a challenge. So when the moment came, that was it.
And also, if you see how the players go in, this is a team there, you know, celebrating and sort of like really enjoying the moment of when they've won.
Well, I think right now we do have the man of the moment, who is with Chris Hill at the moment, Robbie Stapley, the hat-trick hero for Rams, to give us all the insights. Let's hand over to Chris now.
Robbie Stapley, many congratulations on the performance this evening. Quite the 24 hours for yourself. Is it up there with the best 24 hours?
Yeah, it's been a long and great 24 hours, yeah. So, like I say, 2 hours sleep, 10 till 12. Up for an hour at home. My partner's water's broke, and then off to hospital. And she gave birth at about 3:15 this morning. Now I think I got about 20 minutes, half an hour nap this afternoon, and then straight down here. And what a game it was.
Not a pre-match routine you're going to continue after that hat-trick performance?
No, I won't do it again, ever.
Just on the game itself, Robbie, obviously you had the week off last week. You played Sale FC and unfortunately didn't go your way, but the game seems to follow a similar pattern, but you seem to get over that line in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a similar pattern of sort of struggling for maybe between 60 and 70 minutes. And I think maybe at Sale, we didn't manage to recover from it. And today we did a great job of recovering from it. And it's just starting to show the character inside the team we've got. Been together a long time. We don't really lose players. And I think that is what manages to bring out a performance like that in the last sort of 10 minutes, really.
Yeah, it's the first time these two clubs have played for 26 months, can you believe, competitively. So what a nights like this mean to the group of players that you mentioned at Rams? You've been around together for such a long time.
Oh, this is a club that started real low and has just slowly worked its way up a legitimate way. Like, we're just trying to draw people in. We're not going out and hunting for people. We're drawing people in by what we're doing with the place, our attitude, and that's how we get the right players in our squad, and that's how we carry on going the direction we are, hopefully.
And just finally for me, Robbie, you know, you've had your injuries this year as a team, but you're still towards that top end of National 1. What's kind of the aim now with these last 6 games going into the end of the season?
We just want to keep improving, and hopefully with improving comes wins, and that's our aim.
Absolutely. Well, Robbie, congratulations on tonight, and congratulations to you and your family as well.
Thank you very much. Take care.
after having such a great performance, and then Mamley it's just got a little bit bigger as well. And of course, I mean, actually, just Robbie Stapp. I mean, what goes into a performance like the one he did today?
I think Robbie is a sort of player who always plays his best when he's up against really good opposition. He's one of those players, he rises to the occasion. That doesn't mean he's disrespectful to teams lower down the league, because he still plays hard, but he plays even better when the chips are down. And, you know, he started through our Colts, went away to Henley, came back, and I'd say he's a bit of a talisman for the club at the moment. And he's quite undemonstrative as a captain. Doesn't scream and shout. He basically leads by example and says, guys, follow me. And tonight, though, that's probably his best I've seen him play for a long time, to get 3 tries. That is quite something even by Robbie's standards.
And of course, with the history that this fixture has, Paddy, Rams, they've beaten CHINNOR for now 3rd time in a row. I think it's almost 4 years since they've been beaten or something like that. I mean, what does that do for the confidence of the team, especially after that loss to Sale a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt there's a bit more of a spring at training this week. Absolutely, and I think once you go into a performance like this on a Friday, it helps us build going forward. It will increase that energy at training next week, which will just go on and on and on. And going back to Robbie, you know, he's matured so much, as not just a player, but as a captain. We see his captain performance out there, but what he does during the week for the squad is immeasurable. He's so relaxed, but you can see when he says something to the squad, they listen.
Yes.
They listen to what he says.
I mean, he is a stalwart of the club as well. And I mean, going into the fixtures next week, going into the run-in to the rest of the season, he's a vital person to have around the club.
Yeah, very much so. You know, we've not given up on the league or finishing second, depending on how the league above us goes. We will rue the 3 games this season that we've lost to last kick penalties, Taunton away, Leeds away, Sale away. Those are 9 league points that we coughed up. And we will rue that, I think. It's been a fantastic season so far. I'm sure there's some more twists and turns still to come. All of the top 6 have got to play each other. My money would be on either one of the top 3 finishing top now. I think for Cinderford, Cambridge and ourselves to get into that top 3, it would be really hard. But we will, you know, every game you want to win. And just finish up as high as you can. And then it just leads on into next season, whatever league we're in.
Definitely. I mean, tonight, what this means is that Rams have now overtaken Cinderford. They're into the top 5, and they're starting to breathe down the necks of Cambridge as well, who, of course, they have a rest week this week. And it just has a massive momentum. Just very quickly, what that means. Yeah,
it does. And as Ashley says, Rams as a club certainly won't give up on this season. You know, there's a couple of ways you can look at the season. You can now think, unlikely we're going to get promoted. Do we get some of the youngsters in, or do we consolidate, or do we start pushing for next year? But I think we'll still keep pushing. We want to win every game, and you know, it's still in the lap of other teams to help us out, but we'll still go out and look to win every game.
Absolutely. Well, Rams taking the win, of course. CHINNOR gave him a really good fight tonight. Let's hear from the director of rugby there, Richard Thorpe. He's with Chris Hill.
Richard, thanks very much for joining us. Commiserations on the result this evening. What are your immediate thoughts after that one?
I thought that there was a momentum shift shortly after half-time where, had we scored again, there could have been a different outcome. But look, Rams, they attacked very well. We spent probably 80-90% of that game defending. It certainly felt that way. And when you're spending a vast amount of time defending in your own 22, you don't have a much physical resource left when it comes to attack, and we were left wanting with our attack. Our shape was pretty poor, and we didn't get a great deal of ball regardless. So yeah, tough day for us. If you're giving away that amount of penalties and making that number of errors, you're going to spend a large part of the game defending in your own 22, and that was sort of what we took from the game there, really.
I was going to try and turn those into a positive, really, Richard, because you were defending for large portions of that first half, but as you said, there was a momentum shift at the start of that second half. So was that maybe a plus point that you can take into the rest of the season, showing that bit of character, to show that bit of resolve?
Absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of positives for us to take. Looking at our defence, there were some individuals there, Connor Brockschmidt, Willie Ryan on our side, that were making such physical tackles, particularly in that first half. That was very happy with. But you come away from an evening like tonight, I mean, this is a local rivalry. We came down here, we didn't get the result, but yeah, fair play to Rams. It was a good evening.
Just finally, Richard, yes, right now it's going to sting, but you've come off the back of 2 wins going into this derby game. Is that something to take into the rest of the season, that you have kind of just turned that consistency a little bit more?
Completely, yeah. I mean, I think we said at half time that it's the fine margins, it's the little errors that allow them to get into the game. So there's relatively easy fixes here for us against a team like Rams. I mean, they're doing very well. I know they're not necessarily going to be challenging for the top of the league anymore, but they're a very good outfit. So there's a lot of positives for us to take for the remainder of the season for us.
Brilliant. Commiserations tonight, Richard. Well played.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Well, for tonight for CHINNOR, a lot to reflect on, but they certainly had their moments, didn't they, both?
They did. I mean, they'll be disappointed in their changes. Obviously, they're going to be disappointed with a loss, but I think when they go back and review the game, there are a lot of times in that game where they were excellent. There are a lot of aspects of that game that you could say were probably better than Rams at times. I thought their defence at times was brilliant. It took a lot of phases to even open up those tiny gaps. So yeah, they'll be disappointed, but upon reflection, there were some positives for them to take out of it for sure.
Definitely is testament to what you said. I mean, just that one moment really with Henry Bird, that was the only really wide moment for them. I mean, what lessons can CHINNOR take from tonight?
I think they'll be disappointed with their first half shown in the set piece. They struggled in the scrummage. Their line-out didn't function maybe as well as they wanted it to. The scrummage certainly got better in the second half, and the line-out got better in the second half. And as I said, we spoke about that. They broke down here through the middle. If the ball goes out to the right, I think they're going to score. That would have made it 27-24 with a conversion to come. That would have been 3 tries in about 7 minutes, and Rams would have been under the hammer. They came back inside, Jack Rossiter snaffled it, and that, we spoke about momentum, and that just seemed to help Rams tremendously. They saw that probably as a real win. They were looking at conceding 5-7. All of a sudden, they're clearing their lines. But I thought, like, as Paddy said, at times in the game, they were clearly the better team in the backs. But they just lacked that little bit of sharpness and execution. The ball either went to ground, which allowed the Rams defence to get back and set, or it went to ground and Rams turned it over. And I think that's what they would probably look at for their next game and how they want to improve.
Yeah. On a wider context, it means that CHINNOR remain in 7th place at the moment, but they'll start looking. I mean, it's certainly a season of transition under Richard Ford.
It is for CHINNOR, and now we've had a little bit more clarity about what's going on within the leagues and promotion and stuff. Maybe that's kind of their chance gone. So how they're going to react to that, I don't know. Again, they may start thinking, right, let's look at next year. Let's bring some youngsters in. Let's see what else we've got that we can maybe develop towards the end of this season to give a bit more experience going into next season, to give next season a bit of a crack. So depends how they look at it really, but they're a good team. There's no doubt they're a good team. They're a good setup. They always have been for years. They've got up to this league before Rams, so they're kind of a year or two ahead in that sense. But Rams have kind of caught them up and now maybe ahead in the statistics a little bit. So they'll be disappointed, but they'll keep building, no doubt.
Definitely. I mean, just to talk about that wide picture, let's bring in Chris Hill of Talking Rugby Union, who's been getting in amongst the team and everything. You've been a bit warmer now.
Oh yeah, I know. The Talking Rugby Union G-Lane's doing business tonight. So yeah.
How Definitely. Can you be cold down here? You're a northerner.
I'm from Cheshire. It's different climate.
Oh, the softies in Cheshire.
That's not my words, Rich. I'm sorry, they're yours.
I mean, Chris, just give us your take on what we've seen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking to Robley there, it was kind of a little bit of deja vu from the Sale FC game, but they managed to come out on top. And it's a big win for them. It probably was on their mind, the fact that they didn't play for a week and they wanted to come into this game fired up against CHINNOR. So it's a great way to enter the final hurdles of the season. And even though they've had so many injuries, it's still been a really good season for Rams.
It has, definitely. And looking in the wider context of the table, it puts them back up into the top 5 as well, which is now getting very tight and it's going to be really exciting coming into the end of the season.
Yeah, I think we were speaking on the way down here, weren't we, Warren, in terms of how many teams are still in contention for that promotion race. And I think nights like this, and I know Paddy and Ash have said it tonight, it showcases National 1, and it really does deserve the country. So many players have come through this level who are now, we're seeing Premiership, even playing tomorrow for England potentially. And, it's a great league. absolute privilege to being able to showcase it tonight, and there's still so many more stories to be written between now and the end of April.
Absolutely. Just to throw a couple of names out there for you, in the Premiership Rugby Cup this weekend, we've got the likes of Phil Coconasiga, the younger brother of Jove, who's played for Rosslyn Park and Esher in National 2 South. He's playing for London Irish. There's 4 players from Sale FC in the South for Sale Sharks in their game. Wow. Freddie Lockwood of DMP is going to be Darlington Moden Park in the North East. Will be playing for Newcastle Falcons. I mean, there is such an array of talent. Of course, down in Exeter, Sam Pryor and Jack Walsh as well. There is such an array of talent around it, Paddy.
Yeah, and there's no. You could see today the talent that's on show. You know, you can see the young talent that's coming through. You know, there's nothing better in a team than having the old stalwarts like Robbie, and then we've got Max Heyman and Paul and Glazers coming on, that youth coming through, and you know, what a place for them to show their talents and, you know, develop their game, and it helps us with players coming through, absolutely, from the local area, which is exactly what we want.
Of course, and only one team going up this season as well. Actually, that really makes it competitive as well. We've got the likes of Rosslyn Park, Sale, Coldy, Cambridge, possibly Rams at this stage.
Well, there's only one going up at the moment. There might be 2 going up, depending on what Doncaster and Ealing decide to do with the Rugby Football Union and Premier League. So, or the Premiership, shall I say. So, yeah, only one going up. I think most of us sort of knew that maybe halfway through the season. It's made it really competitive, and as I said, whoever wins will have deserved to win the league, because on their day everyone in this league can beat one another, and again, it's no different to the Premiership. If you come in at 96-97% on your game, you will lose, because the opposition will be at 100% will win, and we found out this year some games that we've lost. I'm sure Rosslyn Park have, I'm sure Sale have. Maybe Caldy not so much, so they've only lost 3. But they've still got to go away to Rosslyn Park. They've still got to come here. So there's still a lot of rugby to be played in this league to decide who goes up.
Absolutely. There's only one place to watch it all, by the way, guys, and that is the National League Rugby Review Show. So every Sunday, it's the best place to watch the best tries and biggest moments from National League. National 1, which is what we've seen tonight, and National 2 North and South. All you have to do is head to ntarugby.com, get there on Sunday evening and subscribe. It's £6 for season access. You can watch all 47 teams in action, their best moments, and all the twists and turns that we're going to see. And now is actually a really good time to announce, because I'm back on the road tomorrow. I'm heading down to Worthing versus Esher. There's a big clash going on National 2 South for the one promotion spot. Massive game. Be down there with John Inverdale, the chairman of NCA Rugby, who will be giving us some insights as well. And I mean, that's the thing. You know, we've got the National 2 South. We've got Worthing, Esher, Redroof and Clifton, all within about a point of each other, with about 8 games to go.
It's been a mad few weeks for National 2 South, Warren. I mean, obviously you've been watching from afar from China, I know, but it's, you know, for 1 minute Esher are out of it after 2 straight losses. They beat Clifton and Redroof, and they're right back in it. And tomorrow's game, whoever wins is top of the league, and everyone's played the same games. 4 points in it and 3 points in it between the top 4. This is why we love National League Rugby, like nights like tonight, but the fact that National 2 South title race is probably going to go down to the wire says it all.
I mean, Worthing are one of those teams as well. Actually, we've got a couple of England under 20 players that are in there, for the likes that we've seen them, Harlequins Academy players. It's just a breeding ground for these players, isn't it?
Well, you've given me the lines, so I'm going to have to say, isn't it a shame that the RFU think that National 1, National 2 and Championship doesn't develop the players of the future? Where do all these players start playing their rugby? At the Eshers and the Henleys and the Chinnors and the Rams. Strange that, isn't it? So I like to be controversial. Thanks for feeding me the line.
That's all right. And now, do subscribe, because you'll be able to see Worthing and Esher on Sunday. And also, we're going to be highlighting this game. Another game we'll be highlighting is a Leeds Tights versus Darlington Moden Park. Well, Leeds Tights, formerly Yorkshire Carnegie. That's a battle at the bottom of National 1. 2 teams going down. And, I mean, there's a really tight battle going on there, Paddy.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, a battle at the bottom of National 1. You wouldn't expect to see those 2 clubs battling at the bottom of the club, would you? So, again, it just shows how any team at this level can beat any team. And, you know, we're getting towards the back end of the season. We talk about one club going up, but we know everyone can beat everyone. So there's still so much to play for. And that's the beauty of this level of rugby. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then the last game that we'll be featuring, of course, the National 2 North. We'll be heading up to Chester, down in your neck of the woods, Chris. Chester, almost. My geography is not very good, I'll be honest. We've got Chester versus Rotherham Titans. Rotherham looking to catch up with Hull, who are currently top of National 2 North. Sedgley Park as well, who are looking to get into that advantage as well. Because you've got them, and you've got Stourbridge, who are still in that fight, and Fylde as well. Iconic club, Fylde.
You know, well, last week we were at Sedgley Park, Max Ashcroft, Sedgley Park, who stood behind the camera, and they put 50 points on Stourbridge, and it showed they meant business in National 2 North. You know, they play Huddersfield tomorrow, Rotherham play Chester again after playing them last week. If both of those teams win, that game, when I think it's Sedgley Park, Hull, I might be mistaken, next Saturday, is absolutely huge, and you could potentially have 3 teams going into April fighting for the title. So there's narratives everywhere. It's making my headlines very easy to write, even though they might not be correct sometimes. But it is a big week, even though there are, you know, it's supposed to be a rest week in National 2 North.
Absolutely. Well, so many talking points we discussed. We've merely scratched the surface of them between the 4 of us here. So make sure you subscribe on Sunday. We've seen it in its absolute prime between 2 top quality teams in Rams and CHINNOR under the Friday night lights. It ended with a win for Rams, but they'll be coming back stronger, both of these teams. And I think that just about wraps it up for us, gentlemen. As everyone heads towards the bar there, it's now time to say thank you so much. Thank you to NextGen for putting on this superb live stream for us. Thank you to Corsius for Talking Rugby Union for making this possible. Thank you to my reporter, Chris Hill, our pundits, Ashley Roden and Paddy Conlon, who've given their wonderful insights. And thank you to all of you guys for watching the stream tonight. It's been a pleasure to share this with you. And well, hopefully we'll see you on Sunday, but if not, we hope you've whetted your appetite for National League Rugby. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again.
Introducing NextGenXV, the new home of school rugby.
Well, where does this come from?
Covering everything the school game has to offer in both the north and southern hemispheres.
Oh, that's a great tackle! It's not good enough! 1-2, skip a few and with the wheels!
Highlighting tomorrow's stars, NextGenXV will be bringing you live games and a regular update of all the news and in-depth views on the global game.
What's a kick?
Where did he come from and how did that happen? All your school rugby, all in one place. This is NextGenXV.